On the front porch, just killing time, talking about life with a sip of moonshine. Decoy's the host, he sets the scene with a crew of voices. The porch ain't serene. Pull up a chair, let the story spin. From BB to Boogie, let the jokes begin. Timmy's laughing, Tater grins wide, and poor old Paulie, he's the butt of the ride. Nick's got tales that'll make you wanna stay. Ace plays it cool in that laid-back way. The breeze rolls in with a Tennessee tune as the stars peek out by the light of the moon. It's a circle of voices, a homegrown vibe. No need to hustle, just take it in stride. Paulie gets roasted, but it's all in jest. This porch crew's better than all the rest. Pull up a chair, let the story spin. From BB to Boogie, let the jokes begin. Timmy's laughing, Tater grins wide, and poor old Paulie, he's the butt of the ride. Crickets join in with a soft tambourine. The sound of the sticks is pure and serene. Decoy keeps the peace when the teasing gets thick. But look out now, here comes more from Nick. Pull up a chair, let the story spin. From BB to Boogie, let the jokes begin. Timmy's laughing, Tater grins wide, and poor old Paulie, he's the butt of the ride.
Hello, everybody, and welcome back to another wonderful episode of the Front Porch. I was thinking before I actually started coming on tonight, it's May the 4th. So you know what that means. May the 4th be with you. Happy Star Wars Day to everybody out there. We also have Cinco de Mayo, which is the American version of, Happy Mexican Day, or Latin American Day, excuse me. So, get your tequila ready and go have a blast in your margaritas and all the other good stuff. The Front Porch Light is now officially turned on. If anybody out there wants to go ahead and join in, if you're not a member of our squad productions environment, by all means, go ahead and check the description down below, and you can see a link to join our Discord, and you can be on the Front Porch if you want, and also a lot of the other wonderful productions that we actually have. We have Salute to Service, which was Tater and a Beer. We have the Unfiltered with BB and Hammy, Two Drunks in a Bottle with BB and Hunter, or Tall Ass Leprechaun. Then we also have Mysteries of the Underworld. Is it Mysteries of the Underworld? Mysteries of the Unknown. I get those two confused all the time. But that's Nick and Jess's podcast. And we also have The Aftermath, which I'm a co-host of with myself and Timmy. Should be tomorrow evening, by the way, and where we go kind of go over all the other podcasts that we have here at Squad Productions. So we have quite a few of them actually. And if you haven't, and if you want to, go ahead and give this podcast a thumbs up. And if you want to see more wonderful, good content like this, go ahead and make sure you hit the subscribe button and bell notification. So I'm gonna go ahead and just sit here, and I'm gonna go ahead and keep my drink nice and chilled, and wait for other people to join in if they want to join in. All the hosts here at Squad Productions know they have an open invitation to come in anytime you want during a podcast. It's just like a front porch. Hop in. We can talk about any of the current items or whatever's on your mind. Hop right out. So you never know who you're going to see here, right? Just like our theme song says. I do have a couple items that are laid out, but I was kind of hoping to get some discussions with people going, but I don't really see going on. I do know that we've had a couple of the hosts that have been really, really busy. Oh, and I don't want to forget Boogie also. Boogie's part with Boogie is part of the Salute to Service with Tater. Um, I keep forgetting about poor old Boogie. He's out camping this weekend, so he's probably going to be on his phone somewhere. Um, so, like I said, a lot of our hosts are really, really busy. So, it may be a very, very short podcast tonight. If it is, you can kind of look forward to the front porch being probably close to 30 minutes if no one pops in. If not, if somebody does pop in, of course it will go longer. So one of the item is they call me the grumpy old boomer here at Squad Productions, and I can't understand why. I'm just the oldest one, believe it or not. And I was looking around trying to find some interesting topics to kind of go over tonight, and I found one. And I am not the oldest person to start a podcast, believe it or not. There's a group of Argentinian seniors that includes a 97-year-old doctor that has created a hit podcast. Remember, that's a hit podcast called 90 and Counting. It addresses some of the loneliness and shares of their life's experiences. It was basically they just had a simple dinner gathering one night, and they organized to bring it together with individuals that are over 90. Uh, and it's pretty interesting kind of reading about it. So I just kind of see that it's not just you know middle-aged people going into the to the later years that are actually starting to do some podcasts, which is good because that's where a lot of the good stories come from. So they're out of Argentina. It's available here on YouTube and also Spotify, and they have a lot of diverse topics, like I said, and they cover from personal experiences to broader themes to healthy living and ways to connect with others. So, I mean, something to kind of check out. I mean, it's hard to believe that a 97-year-old. Oh, and it looks like she's a female too. That's actually interesting. The other news article I pulled up earlier did not actually say that, but that's pretty cool, actually, if you ask me. Okay, so kind of looking into a little bit. Good luck. Oh, I'm sorry. Let me see what's going on here. My camera is not showing up again. That's the bad thing about. There we go. I should be there. Now you should be able to see my ugly mug. Unfortunately, OBS does not like the window capture for some strange reason, and you're not really missing nothing by not seeing me because I'm literally the only one here. Squad Productions. I wonder if that's the wonderful world of BB. I know he's been really, really busy lately. Uh, but it's kind of lonely. But it could be any one of Seeing Spot Productions. It could be anybody. That could be Tater. That could be BB. That could be anybody that shares the wonderful problems in life with us. Um, One of the other ones is so that was actually part of the comebacks for the title, Close Calls, Comebacks, and Crowns. Is Tyler there in the house by chance? Does anybody know if Tyler's around? Uh, you, you don't have anyone in line? Oh no, no, it's no. You gotta remember, this is just an open mic. Anybody, any host, can just pop in. I try not to get anybody lined up unless I know there's something going on. But I just had a news article that kind of popped up, um, that I know Tyler is really big into aviation, um, and I think that he'd be kind of interested in kind of seeing and hearing this one, if he is there. Let me see if he's available real quick. If not, or if it might take him a minute, no big deal. Um, one moment. Just texted him. Maybe he might join. There he is. Hey Tyler, join in. Um, I'll get you transferred up here into the room. I got an article that you might be interested in. Let me go ahead and this over. Get you in the waiting room there. There be Tyler. Hello. Is this Tater? Tater, you be muted. No, that's Tyler. Okay.
Yes, I'm here. Hello.
Okay. Hey, how's it going, Tyler?
I'm doing good.
Well, welcome back to the Squadcast Productions. Um, I found an article that you might be interested in. You remember 3 months ago what happened up here in Washington, D.C. at DCA?
Yeah.
Well, guess what happened 2 days ago?
What happened?
There was another Army helicopter, which was another Black Hawk, and it was flying through the DC airspace, and it took the scenic route around the Pentagon to go land. And two commercial flights had to make evasive actions and do go around maneuvers.
Oh, I think I heard about that on the
Yeah,
news. But
I was like, what is going on? It's like, I mean, they already know they're not supposed to do that. So, I mean, why is it another Black Hawk taking scenic routes around the Pentagon instead of flying directly to the West Teleport?
I don't even know, to be honest. But yeah,
Yes.
very interesting on why it's happening so much.
Yeah, because I mean, 3 months after the inbound flight that happened, which I mean, that still weighs heavily on a lot of the people up here, and it's kind of crazy that they would be trying to fly in areas that they already know is supposed to be a no-no area. I mean,
Hmm.
technically, after that happened, the only ones that's technically literally kind of allowed to fly that is Marine One, and that's coming up from the bases to go into the White House to do the transfer of the shuttles and stuff. And it's because that's the closest area from where the actual heliports where they keep the helicopters on standby at.
Hmm.
Timmy, how you doing? If you want, you can come on in also. We got plenty of room. But yeah, I thought that was interesting. Why that it would. be in kind of the restricted uh, deal, even though that it is a well-known helicopter path, but it's been restricted after the flight because of everything else is going on.
Yep.
So they are both the agency and I guess the FAA. I guess that's also another agency are looking into investigations to figure out what exactly happened and why they're doing that. Oh, I need to check and see. I don't know.
I
No,
mean,
he's
I even heard the FAA is gonna shut down, or United's gonna. Uh, I heard a statement from United and all that about them in Newark, all that because they have outdated ATC stuff, all that.
well. What do you mean by outdated ATC stuff?
Um,
Because I mean, are you talking about the computing system? Or are you talking about radio communications?
it's hard to explain. I think like there's stories online about it, what United's doing, because it's the summer travel season's coming up and all that, the busy season or
Oh, oh
or.
yeah. I mean, it's always gonna be busy.
Mhm.
Well, it's. I mean, it depends on what airport. I mean, you said Newark, so that's gonna be New York
Mhm.
City, and
Mhm.
that's gonna be of the three airports. That's actually the least of the busiest ones because it's JFK going to LaGuardia to Newark, um, and that's only because of population area to where it's actually located.
Okay,
The
so if you want, you
good.
can go ahead. Or
No, go ahead.
so I just found it. It's United Airlines is cutting 35 daily round trips from its Newark schedule. So that's
Yeah,
all.
well, yeah. They're cutting. Okay, so they're cutting. It's not to do with the ATC, but they're cutting, and like I said, Newark is the smallest of the three, so they're gonna probably figure that they're gonna be saving more by cutting those flights by the gas cost compared to what they can get by pushing people to LaGuardia or JFK.
Hmm.
Yeah, I mean, Southwest kind of does that too every once in a while. If they don't think that they get enough people like to go to Orlando or Key West or someplace in the winter, they'll cut the flights altogether. And then when summer kind of starts picking up and they see a demand growing on other airlines, they'll bring those flights back. So it's kind of an airline tactic that they keep the stuff going that way.
Hmm.
Keep checking the waiting rooms if anybody's in there. I think all the hosts actually have the rights to come in.
Hold on, let me turn my TV down real quick.
Okay.
What?
Uh, but yeah, it's because when you're saying the technology and everything, um, I thought you was referring to like the computer equipment or the radios, which the radios is all already going to be hard set because it's AM, and that because AM travels further in the air than FM does, and it can actually bounce and radiate off the ionosphere and everything else. Now, the computers, on the other hand, they used to run the old Osbornes with CPM operating systems up until like 94 or 95. Then they finally upgraded it, but they were hesitant in doing so because they did not trust Windows 95 operating system at the
Uh,
time. I totally remember that because there were big articles saying how outdated running on ancient 80s operating system and hardware. But in a way, if you ask me if it still makes sense, why go in put all these fancy computers and everything else in when you don't need to, if you're just driving radar and other essential equipment that has software that does the job. I mean, the only time
Hmm.
you would need to is if you can't get replacements for the hardware. And that's the way it is through a lot of the government. I mean, there's agencies out there that still run Windows NT 4.0, Windows 3.11, and it's because they have equipment that requires that operating system. They can't change it out. Now, like for the radios and everything, um, I've noticed that like a lot of the smaller communities out in the plains and everything, they're starting to roll over to DRM and stuff like that, which I don't understand because that's a trunking radio system. And the rule of thumb is if your highest point of elevation in your city is a silo, you don't need a trunking radio system.
Hmm.
So I don't know about a lot. I think a lot of that they're trying to do make it harder to where people can listen in on police scanners and stuff. But DRM, Next Gen, and all the others is really, really simple to get into.
Hmm.
So, how's everything been going with you?
It's been going good.
Keeping out of trouble?
Yeah.
Been playing any games lately or anything, or just been chilling out like a villain?
um, I've been playing a little bit of 5M and Roblox, all that.
Roblox. That's a game I just can't get into. I hear Roblox and it just screams, 12-year-olds.
Well, yeah, I mean, that is true. There's a lot of young kids on there. So,
Yeah, I've got a pretty good backlog of games I need to get through, and I just haven't done it yet. I've got Planet Coaster 2, and I still haven't really sit down and played with it yet. I need to, but it's been a pretty busy week along the Squad Productions line. Um, Tater was live. We had Aftermath. We had Mysteries of the Underworld. I think is it Mysteries of the Underworld? I can't remember anymore. I think it is. Yeah, Mysteries of the Underworld. I always get them confused. I'm old. I'm gray. I'm senile. But no, I wanted to kind of get your thoughts and everything on the what actually happened again on that. 'Cause I know that you're really big into aviation and stuff.
hmm.
Uh, and you do know that the Triple Crown is coming up. The second leg is 17th. Then if who won? Was it second? Wasn't secretary? Who won that? It'll be uh, Sovereignty won at a 7-1 odds. So if Sovereignty goes on to win the Peakness, which is 17th, then they'll have two legs of the Triple Crown. Then it goes on to the Peakness, June 7th or something like that for that. So this is first year in a long time that we've had a good runner up go into it because I know the last 2 years the Kentucky Derby winner did not go on to the peak or yeah, is it Peakness? Peakness is okay. I'm really confused. Oh, it's the Peakness, and then well, Peak. Belmont. Belmont is the last one. Peakness is the next one coming up, and then Belmont. Okay. Uh, like I told you, I'm getting old and senile. Um, so yeah, the Peakness. If the horse makes it to the Peakness and then wins out one, then they got two legs down, and then the third one is um, at Belmont. So it's going to be interesting to see because I mean these are all 3 year old thoroughbreds doing the racing,
Mm-hmm.
and from my understanding, this is the first year all of these are generationally attached back to Secretariat. So it's like Secretariat's been a pretty busy horse in retirement. So have you been keeping up with what's been going on over at the Vatican?
Um, no, I haven't. I don't know what that is. Or anything.
Oh, Pope Francis died
Oh
Easter
yeah, I
Monday.
remember. Yeah, I've been watching the news about that.
Well, the 7th, I believe, either the 7th or the 10th. Uh, I believe it's the 7th, a Wednesday. 5th, 7th, or 10th. I can't remember off the top of my head when they said they're going to actually start the new conclave. But they've been busy over there. Um, so the stoves that they use to burn the ballots are not always in the Sistine Chapel. So they have to go in, and they actually have two different stoves. And the last one was built in 2014, and it's more not energy efficient, but it produces better smoke quality. Uh, so the and it's because of the way the paper's made. It's not made like it was back in the traditional days or up to Benedict when he was elected pope. So they still have to put the chemicals in to make it either burn black or burn white, but it doesn't look like an old potbelly stove like it used to. It's more of a incinerator or retort type of stove, for better terms, and they have to actually completely construct it from the ground up. Put the stove in, then run the piping all the way from the floor to the actual vent, and then they have to actually the Vatican Fire Department actually has to climb on the roof and install the actual vent. Which always I thought the vent was always there. I just thought that they took the stove out because the Sistine Chapel is open to the public unless it's actually closed for any papal event or the conclave. I thought that was actually kind of strange that they were showing pictures and everything else getting ready for the actual big event. Uh, and the funny thing else also is ABC, CBS, and NBC has been treating this like a presidential election and or a NFL draft, which I kind of
Mm.
find hilarious because it you can't base a papal conclave on who's going to win it like you're picking, your first round draft picks. Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
there's some good people out there, but like one of the Vatican reporters said, you can't go off of that because Francis put so many new cardinals in that it's really hard to decipher who is going to take his place because you've got the old school Cardinals which there's two or three that's really sticking out in the main frontal. But there's so many newer ones that don't know every all these cardinals. Because of like of the 183 cardinals, I forgot the amount that's actually new, but it's they don't really know all the different cardinals, so they don't know how or what their agendas are. You know, how they gonna fit in. So it's gonna be interesting to see. Um, I don't know if it's gonna be a 1 day event like it was for Pope Francis. Um, well, Pope Francis was actually a 2 day because the first day they go in, they have a vote, and then normally they don't make a decision on that first vote. Uh, but they don't really count that first day as the first or 1 day because it's not a full day. A lot of craziness, I'll tell you that.
Hmm.
Got anything you want to talk about?
Um, I'll be hosting a show on here, or I'll be hosting Tater's show next Saturday. Kind of nervous about that though. Um,
You gonna be hosting? Uh, you gonna be what co-hosting with Boogie?
yep.
Oh,
Hmm.
okay.
Hmm.
Yeah, because I remember Taylor saying something last night that after the show that I believe he said he's going to be camping or something, and
Hmm.
it's going to be hard for him to literally have um, uh, internet.
Internet.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's been a busy day for me today, to be honest with you. It's been a busy weekend actually. Um,
Hmm.
I did a lot of work around the house, and we had a windstorm back in January. Blew over my barbecue grill, and I just started cleaning up the barbecue grill, getting it ready for end of the month, which is Memorial Day. And I literally ran all over the place trying to find Mean Green degreaser. Everybody said they had it in stock. Go there. No, they had Simple Green. That's like great. So I had to scurry outside because every place up here doesn't have Wi-Fi, or you can't get cell phone coverage at all. To find out if it's food safe and everything else. Finally, found out it was, so I went with that. So I started the process. Gave everything a good cleaning once over. Got 90% of it off, but I need to go back through, tear down the grill, and redo it again to get it clean one more time. Then do burn fires and get the everything completely clean. It's yeah, it's I was covered head to toe yesterday in grease.
Dang.
Yeah, I was not too happy when that windstorm came through. I mean, it had to be pretty good gust of wind to knock over a five burner barbecue grill.
Oh wow.
Uh, a lot. Trying to see if there's anything that's not really political because I don't like to go down the political path in this one. Uh, Most of the headlines are talking about stupid stuff. Well, you got to remember a lot of it's coming from the big cheesy three, and they don't play nice against each other, especially when it comes to the politics and stuff.
Hmm.
Um, I did see an article that one of the last survivors of Pearl Harbor was just laid to rest. Trying to refind that article. Uh, the last known survivor of the USS Arizona was passed away on April the 1st, 2024. That was over a year ago at 102. I thought there was another one. Uh, nope, the Otis Pearl Harbor vet that was alive just passed away at 105. Uh, trying to find more on it. He was a survivor on the USS Utah, and that was Warren Upton. So all the survivors now from all the oldest living survivor from Pearl Harbor has passed at 105. So I think that's all of. I don't know, uh, but that's many many years ago, and it's December the 7th is a day that does not get a lot of recognition anymore, and I think it still should, because we were provoked that day to go into something that we really shouldn't have really needed to go into. And it was all about taxes and tariffs and embargoes and everything, because we were putting a crunch on the Japanese people on oil, because they were going out and doing the invasions and the conquering and everything. And so by doing that, we were trying to slow them down and keep them at bay. So I mean, yes, it's kind of a healthy do, healthy don't situation. Uh, but you know how they got mixed in with the German uh, workload, and because we were the allies and they were the Axis, uh, I really don't truly understand. Um, but I do understand the relationship between Germany and um, uh, Italy. Mussolini and Hitler. I do understand all that, but how the Japanese got mixed into that? Because to me, I still see the European theater and the Pacific theater as literally two separate wars being fought at the exact same time. Uh, I don't see how the Japanese were friendly to the Germans, and the Germans, I know, definitely wasn't very friendly back towards the Japanese people. It's just trying to figure all that out. Um, that to forgive me. I could talk for hours on World War II. Um,
World War II is not good.
no, um, World War One was supposed to be the war to end all wars. Well, that didn't last too long, because World War II, um, in a way, I mean, I understand the reasoning and why World War II happened. Um, World War II, in the eyes of Hitler and the German people, was actually a continuation of the First World War, uh, because they were retaliating against what happened to them from that, and we try to stay out of it as much as possible. I mean, if we did not get bombed by the Japanese, we probably wouldn't have entered World War II anytime soon. But that all quickly changed. And we went in, kicked butt. You know, didn't take didn't take no for an answer. But a lot of people truly think that the hard driving fact that stopped the Japanese from continuing the war was both Hiroshima and Nagasaki. That's about 80% of it. The other 20% was Russia was knocking on their back door, and they saw what the Russians did to Germany by splitting it, and they did not want anything to do with that. So that's why they hurried up and afterwards and made the treaty with us because they knew that our occupation of the Japanese or Japan would not have been as bad as if Russia would have gotten in. Because Russia would have really, really been a bad deal for Japan. Do you imagine like having East and West Tokyo? One side free, one side not. That would definitely be an interesting concept. I mean, um, I guess in a way, it it would be weird to even kind of think about that because our occupation in Japan didn't really last that long. I think it was only like 11 or 12 years. And during that time, we really helped Japan rebuild, uh, get everything up back to where it's supposed to be, uh, allow them to have a little bit of security force. So it's like a very scaled down version of a military with, of course, U.S. oversight and everything. But if we didn't have that support in the 50s, fighting the Korean conflict would have been really, really hard also because we would not have a place to have air bases or great military hospitals or anything, and the loss of life would have been greater fighting the Korean conflict than it would have been if Japan wasn't there available for us also. And the reason why the Korean War took off the way it really did was because, fighting between communism and non-communism, and it kind of took off right at the end of World War II. So it, kind of played a part on piggybacking off of World War II in a way, because at one time Korea was actually part of uh, Japan. So it's kind of interesting the way everything kind of builds together. So it's the Korean people, they still, uh, know that there's not an end to the conflict. They are just at a complete ceasefire that's been in place since the 1950s because the Korean conflict only lasted for 3 years. A lot of people think it lasted longer. The actual conflict only lasted for 3 years, and it settled on the 38th parallel.
Uh, we we have someone who wants to join us.
Ooh, okay. We'll just throw him in the party. What's going on there, Mr. Nick?
Nick. I
Nick,
think he- I
can you
think
hear
he's
me, Nick? We can hear you. That's one of the old Jeff Dunham deals. One of the guys got up, and unfortunately, he didn't know it at the time. But Jeff Dunham, this guy gets up in the middle of a Jeff Dunham show, and he's recording it, and he goes out and hits the bathroom and comes back, and he's just sitting there with Walter, just ragging him back and forth. Really hilarious. And it was one of the reserved seats, come to find out, because it was like a friend of the family or something that he brought him into the show. Are you there, Nick?
He's probably doing something, I guess. Or
Yeah, he might
I
have
don't
stepped
know.
away. He might either stepped away or the ghost came out of the closet and got him. He'll probably come back and say, "Hey, I've been moved." Oh,
Oh,
he just
there he
left.
goes.
Did he go all the way? Yeah, he did. Sorry, Nick. You know we love you, buddy.
Oh, he's in waiting room again.
Is he in the waiting room again?
Yeah.
Nick,
Can
can you
you
hear me, Nick?
hear
Hello.
us?
Okay,
Hello.
there he
Hello.
is.
Yep.
There you are.
We're giving you a hard time. We thought you stepped away from the mic or something, so we were. I'm doing the Jeff Dunham tell you, Nick, Nick, can you hear us? No, well, we can hear you. Oh, I see you got the light on in the closet.
Yes, I do. Nothing's happened today though. It seems quiet.
Well,
Well, we can change that. We can get our medias in here also. You'll get that ghost provoked. So what's going on in your neck of the woods, sir?
Nothing much. I went to part time at work. Um, During my days off, I'm looking for a new job. Um, I'm thinking about working at GameStop. They're paying more than I'm getting paid now. They're paying like
oh wow.
15 bucks an hour, and right now I'm getting paid 11. So
Oh
Oh,
wow. You could always work at the airport too, but
no. Speaking of airport, how is that going for you?
I'm doing my background check next week. I don't know what day yet though. So
Okay. So you didn't get fired yet. Got it. Just making
no,
sure.
I didn't get fired yet.
that's a good thing.
And I don't want to get fired. So
Oh, fuck that.
what?
What?
The first time Annabelle was ever afraid.
Oh.
I'm looking at what you posted yesterday.
You're just not getting around to seeing that.
Yep.
You think that was an appropriate one?
I think it's
I mean,
funny.
yeah, Mike would definitely scare the hell out of anything.
Yeah, he's a big guy.
Yeah, I got a couple of other good ones that I was gonna really get BB going with, but I haven't posted them yet. Um, I don't even remember where I put them, to be honest with you. Um, I posted the one in there about the unofficial scented candles from Pennsylvania to give Hammy a hard time with especially with the scrapple and the sauerkraut. Yeah, if you don't know what scrapple is, you are missing out on one hell of a treat for breakfast food. That's all I can say. Fried scrapple is really, really good.
Yeah, that's like a meat type thing, right?
Yeah, it's pork. It's
Yeah,
like
my
pork
uncle made a
scraps and
couple once.
everything. Yeah.
Yeah, it was really good.
First time I had it was first time I really had it was scrapple and eggs, and we were staying with a friend at Ocean City, and he says, "Yeah, you're gonna need a big breakfast." So he cooked up, like a pound of scrapple and like a dozen eggs. And he said, "Everybody eat." It's like, okay. No clue what it was, but it's like tastes good to me.
Good. Yeah, it's Scrapple's amazing.
Yes. I don't know what drippy eggs are or what the sweet Lebanon or Lebanon is. I think that's some sort of a meat, and then like deviled eggs for the other one.
Yeah,
But
the girl I'm talking to makes the best omelets. Like 10 out of 10. Like she came over a couple weeks ago and made me an omelet and it was heaven. And then I try to make an omelet and it looks like scrambled eggs and I'm like, "What the fuck?"
well, okay, so let's have a little Gordon Ramsay section here. So how do you make your omelet? How do you
Well,
prepare your egg?
she taught me now. She taught me how to now. So what I was doing was I was always trying to flip it too soon. But what you have to do is you have to wait for it to, bubble and stuff like that on top, and then you just kind of scrape around the edges to see if it's hard enough to flip. But I used to thought you had to flip the entire thing over. I didn't know you could just, yeah.
No, for an omelet. So normally, okay. So the way I normally make my omelet is I'll throw the egg in, and I'll throw a small dash of milk in also, and then get the good base going. And then I normally at that point, while the egg is still a lot of what I call raw, is I will throw a little cheese in also, and let that cheese kind of bake into the actual egg to make the actual base. Then once I get
What
the hard base, I'll start throwing the meats and the green pepper or whatever else in if I want a Western omelet. Then um, what? Then more cheese, of course, and then I do the half fold on it, and then flip it to the other side, so that way the other side can actually get cooked a little more on the inside. Because I'm not worried about the egg at that point; it's just gonna brown up.
Yeah. The way I did it, when she made, well, I guess the way she made it, she did pretty much what you did, but she added bacon, tomatoes, and onions and cheese to it.
Okay, well, it was raw. The egg, while
No,
the egg was still cooking, or in the middle.
yeah, while the egg was still cooking in the middle.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so it was really good.
Yeah, it's been a while since I made a good old fashioned omelet. Right now I can't afford an egg. I mean, just one egg would sit me a full paycheck.
That's true.
I'm yeah.
So yeah, so she made you an omelet. Did she make anything to go with it? Did you have toast and coffee, orange juice?
Yeah, we had some Sunny D orange juice with it.
Oh,
It was good. She likes You don't like Sunny D? Her and I love Sunny D.
I grew up when Sunny D first came out. Okay, so it may have improved by now, but imagine that orange flavor taste when you had to take medicine as a kid.
Yeah.
But imagine that like three times worse. And that's what original Sunny D tasted
I,
like, because it was
I
nothing like orange juice.
I'm a
Well,
coffee drinker.
well, the Sunny D now it tastes good. Like I got like a gallon jug of it, and we that lasted us like a week.
Oh
Yeah,
wow.
see, no, I'm more down the lines of I grew up a lot on what we used to have. You can't find it anymore. Frozen concentrate orange juice. You would literally get a can frozen, and you would go home, you would set it on the counter and let it start thawing, and then you would get regular tap water and fill up a pitcher like a half gallon of tap water and throw the concentrate in there and let it melt, and then it would actually make orange juice for you that way. But you
Okay.
can't find them like that anymore. There's no one sells frozen concentrated orange juice. It's all fresh, and it's 3 times
Mhm.
more expensive.
Or you could buy oranges and just do that way.
To make fresh squeezed orange juice would be impossible around me because it would be all over the walls and not in the pitcher.
Yeah, it's about the same for me too.
And then the pitcher would be going against the wall because I'd be extremely upset and mad. Yeah, I've tried thinking about doing that, and just the work isn't worth it.
Wow.
Yeah, I feel that. Yeah, but lemonade, not lemonade, tea is really good. I my favorite brand. Tyler knows what my favorite brand is. Milo's. I love Milo's tea.
See, we don't have Milos here. We have a company. You can find it in some stores, but it's called Turkey Hill, and it's like I never tried it. Not a big fan of getting the milk jug type deal of tea. Um, so I just literally went to BJ's Wholesale, and I just got the Go uh, Go Peak. No, not Go Peak. It's the other one. Pure Leaf. Unsweetened iced tea.
Mhm.
Had to wait for them to get it back in stock because it's a seasonal item. So
Oh,
it's like,
okay.
I'm ready. I got my iced tea first go around for it. Can't wait until July the 4th so I can crack out some watermelon. Uh,
Oh yes, watermelon, so good.
yep. Um, it's kind of strange. I mean, I love watermelon, but I don't eat watermelon until July the 4th is the first one I'll first start eating it for the season. And I won't stop eating it until Halloween. Then after Halloween, won't eat it again until July the 4th again. Just the
Mhm.
way I grew up, we grew up. That's watermelon season.
My dad actually bought a watermelon not too long ago at the store. So
You see, if I tried cutting a watermelon, Haley would kill me because I do it wrong. So I leave
uh,
that for her.
yeah, you should let her do that.
Well,
But, I mean,
I mean, do you like your watermelon in the rind or out of the rind?
I just I the way I like it is when when you're a kid, you have those little pizza slices of it, those little triangles, and you just num 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 num.
Yeah. Okay. So you like it in the rind.
Yeah,
So yeah, I mean, in the rind is good. I mean,
I like it
now
out of the rind.
if I'm playing poker, it's got to be cubed.
like with the toothpick, you pop the toothpick.
Pretty much. Yep. I'll have a fork and I'll have like a huge Tupperware bowl filled to the brim with with it right there
Watermelon.
because I'm eating watermelon while everybody else is drinking. So who's going to be the best at poker at that point?
Yeah, fair enough. Yep.
Does the juice of a watermelon taste good?
Oh,
Oh, it does.
definitely. Watermelon juice is excellent. I mean,
Yeah.
just watch out though. It'll make you feel like a Russian racehorse.
Tell me about it. Speaking of racehorses, did you guys watch the Derby?
I I didn't watch it, to be
I
honest. I mean,
I forgot it was this weekend to be honest with you, but I was so busy. I didn't really have time on Saturday to really do anything. We did talk about it a little earlier that this is the first time in I think like 2 or 3 years that we've actually got a good chance to see maybe a triple crown
Yeah.
running because not this weekend but next weekend is Peakness, and then the Belmont is in June. So hopefully we'll see because the last couple of years the winner of the Kentucky Derby never made it to Peakness. So fingers crossed. And we were also saying that this is the first year all of the runners of the Kentucky Derby were generational back to Secretariat also. Which, that means Secretariat has been very busy in the off season. Or retirement, actually, in the Secretariat's case. The Secretariat won the Triple Crown in 73 or 74. Been a while.
I was still dead in '74, so I have no idea.
Still dead.
Yeah.
No. You weren't even thought of. There's a difference between being dead and not thought of. There's a
I know.
big difference.
Yep. I just like saying that shit and getting people's reactions. But
Well, that's like, people ask me if I've ever been outside the United States, and I keep telling them all the time. It's like, I've been to London, I've been to, France, and I've been everywhere. And, oh, well, when did you go? I said, well, I never saw it. I've been there, but I never saw it. I went womb class. So, yeah. It's all how, I guess, how you look at it. So, I mean, you can be yes, no. One of those strange deals where I guess technically, well, no, technically you can't be dead because you're not born yet unless you believe in reincarnation.
see, with my side hustle that I do, that's a gray area for me, is reincarnation.
Are you talking about the paranormal experiences?
Yeah, yeah.
So how's that a gray area?
Well, because if there's reincarnation, then like the souls just, I don't know, it's something that it's like one of those things that I'd have to see to believe.
Well, so okay, so stop and think. Okay, let's stop and think about this for a minute. The paranormal is because a soul is trapped between point A and point B, right?
Yes.
Okay, so let's just let's just take into consideration. This is all theory and hypothetical, of course. Uh, you, you just had like a big flash. Either Tyler or you. Oh, it must be your screen. Okay, it's like no, it's like I caught a big flash just for a second, and I think it was Nick. He saw something popping up on the screen or whatever. Hey, Boogie. How you doing? Um, but for Nick, let's take into consideration that you have a spirit that is stuck between where they are or something happened that's keeping them from getting to the either taking the escalator up or taking the escalator down. So if there is reincarnation, you're going to have a rate of, let's say, 80% of, being able to be reincarnated and resent back out.
I'll be back.
Okay. So it's still possible, or not possible, plausible, in my eyes, that it could happen if I was actually fully choose in going with it. But me myself, I don't see it. I believe it's a one and done time. But I mean, I'm always thinking that it's a possibility. I mean, I've seen traits of people that kind of shown stuff that could have possibly been somebody in a previous life. I don't know if there is a like a time that's like, okay, so let's say that Winston Churchill, he passed in 74 or 75. So when would he be able to be reincarnated as another person? Of course, he's not going to have all the knowledge or everything that he knew of as Winston Churchill, but that soul is embedded into another being to have another go at life. I don't know if that's all physically possible or not. It's like Nick said, it is kind of a gray area, but I don't know if it's just a one and done or not. That's the $1 million question. Nobody really truly knows. I do know that there's a lot of different um, a lot of different religions that kind of some believe in it, some don't believe in it. But there's also different businesses. Well, not really businesses, but I mean, you do have down the lines of like psychics and stuff like that, which I truly do not believe in. Um, I've seen a lot of good scam artists work their magic by doing the tarot cards and all that. So that stuff I don't believe in because I know how magic works. Um it doesn't phase me watching somebody get sawed in half or levitate because the scientist part of me comes out and it have to debunk everything that happens with it. Hit the wrong button. Could have a little heartburn. Uh, you okay there?
Yeah, I have the hiccups.
Okay. Yeah, it's like I was trying to hit the mute button. I hit it right at the wrong time, and something came out that wasn't really supposed to. Uh, because a little bit of heartburn from my dinner starting to kick in a little bit. But yeah, like I was saying earlier, it's like I don't know if it's a one and done or not myself, or if you're only gonna hit like an 80% return rate, because you're gonna have 20% that are stuck going between the escalator going up or the escalator going down. I don't know out of all that on it, so it's like reincarnation is one of those deals where yeah, it's plausible, but I don't know for a fact. But it's like when you go into the psychics and stuff like that, like I was telling Tyler, no, I don't believe in psychics at all.
You see, I'm psychics are one of those things that like I don't know. It's like it's either coincidence if what they say happens or they're actually, like
Well,
I
it well think of so when you go watch a magic show and they have a deck of 52 cards and they tell you to pick a card, okay, and they guess your card, is that an act of being a psychic, or is that just a magic card or a magic trick?
probably a card. Yeah.
Because when you go into like a lot of these proclaimed psychics, which believe me, up here in Maryland, they're on every street corner, and minimum $10 for the first 10 minutes. So okay, $1 a minute, right? Well, it's like going into a 1-900 number. You pay $8.99 for the first minute, and then like $20.99 for the every minute afterward. Same thing. They get you in, they waste your time for 10 minutes, and then they start nailing you for like $150 to $200 and everything else. The snake oil. Um, they get shut down. They open up another one right down the road.
Mm.
So it's basically the same thing. They'll ask you questions that don't seem like they don't make any sense or whatever, and they're picking information out to ask you to get. It's like, oh, where are you from? It's like, oh, I'm from, Joe Blow, Indiana. Oh, okay. And so now they know you're from Indiana, so you're not from around here. So they're gonna, then they're gonna pick, well, why are you coming to a psychic? And so, oh, well, I'm just kind of curious to kind of know, maybe my great grandfather, what he did in World War II or something. And they'll start picking more and more information, and they can finally get enough where they can kind of piece together a story and say like, oh, I'm getting this vibe, and it's like, some guy coming out of a cornfield, because you said you're from Indiana. And then now I'm seeing him kind of, he's walking with a limp. It's like you might have said something like, "Oh, your grandfather was, hurt in the war and everything. Always had a cane." So they kind of play those things against you and pull it together. And you know, and it's just, they'll tell you different things just to kind of keep you going, and it's just smoke and mirrors and snake oils to me. I mean, that's just the way I kind of see it. I mean, I mean, I don't want to debunk anybody or make anybody mad, but like that's just the way I kind of see it. You okay, Nick?
Huh?
You okay? Look like you're
Yeah,
like
I'm
spaced out.
yeah. I'm high. Um, but
Hi,
I'm
I'm
thinking.
low.
No, but I'm just thinking about what you said, and yeah, I see where you're coming from. Um, it's just yeah,
Yeah,
it's weird. It's I had a buddy who also does paranormal investigating, and like he was going to investigate these haunted woods and up here in Ohio somewhere, right?
mhm.
And he went to a psychic before, and she was like, before he walked in, like as he walked in, she said, "I would stay out of those woods tonight." How the fuck did she know that? Like, like he didn't tell her, "Hey, I'm going up here. I'm going up here. I'm going to these woods." I like he like before, like as he walked in, she looked at him, concerned, and said, "I would stay out of the woods tonight."
Did he go to the woods?
He did, and he got chased out by a homeless man.
Okay, so he got chased
Yeah,
out by a homeless man. So
the
not
homeless
by
man
a
had a knife.
okay, but it wasn't a spirit or anything like that.
Yeah, no, it wasn't a
Okay.
spirit, but it was still weird.
Yeah, I mean,
And he was getting a lot of paranormal activity before he accidentally walked into that homeless man's camp.
Mm-hmm.
So that stuff like that makes me it makes me question, you know, are people, can like are there actually such thing as psychics, or are they, cuz it's weird. It was
Mm-hmm.
weird. But since then Thomas has never gone back to a psychic.
yeah, I mean that that's strange. I mean, it's one of those deals to where, you know, there could have been something, but I don't know. And but to me, everything that I've seen, um it just points to where it's like I said, it's all mirrors, magic, and smoke, snake oil. Uh, there's always a possibility that there could be a person out there. If they are, they're gonna be like one in a million. It's not gonna be like one on every street corner. I'll tell you that. That's for damn sure. Uh, you know, it's not gonna. I mean, if there is a true psychic out there, they're going to have to be completely differentiated from every other ones because I mean they're like I said up here they're like a freaking McDonald's or a Roach. They're on every street corner.
Yeah.
And a true psychic would not be flashing, neon lights that says "Come in,"
Yep.
or whatever.
A real psychic would work for the Santa Barbara Police Department. Please tell
Or
me you get
yeah,
that reference.
Santa Barbara. Uh, what is that?
You've never
Monk?
seen the show. You've never seen the show Psych.
Oh,
I was
not
hoping you. I was hoping you of all people would recognize that reference.
no, not really. I mean, that's um, I tried, but the little monkey in my head with the symbols was going like this, quite often. Kind of like Dexter. I tried to watch Dexter, but having a serial murderer working for the police department and not being caught is like way over, zealous. And it's like, nope, no. That doesn't fly with me.
You might
Um,
you might enjoy a show called The Rookie.
the Rookie.
The Rookie.
Yeah, make me dig and see if I might even have that.
It's on Hulu.
Well, I can tell you right. I don't have it on my server, but no. Hulu is one service I will never have, and it's because if I'm paying for a subscription, I do not need to have commercials. Period. And their free one is so limited that I would rather, have my toenails pulled out than have to sit through all their commercials.
Yeah. They have Hulu has a no commercial upgrade.
Yes, yes, an upgrade though. Their subscription, no matter what it is, should be no commercial. You should not have to subscribe to anything and still have to pay and watch a freaking commercial. That's what you're giving them money for. And
Yeah.
if Disney doesn't like it, he can go kick the mouse right square in the nuts.
Well, that's gonna be tricky because Disney's dead.
No, Mickey Mouse is alive and well.
I mean, Walt Disney's dead.
But is he? There's because you have to remember, yeah, you're talking about reincarnation. He could be already back because he died in '66. So what's the time frame between having to wait to come back out again?
I don't follow reincarnation, so I have no idea.
See, I don't either. No, like I said, I don't either. So I don't know. I thought maybe you might have had a wild gander on knowing what it would be. I don't.
What are you over there whispering to yourself, Tyler?
Um, I'm listening to a song.
Damn, is this song really more important than Steve's podcast right now? Like, come on, man.
I'm sorry.
Yeah,
I like
I'm one
listening
of
to
these.
music. Okay.
Well, I like listening to music too, but I mean, I like when I'm playing a game or whatever. I do not listen to music. I'm not like BB. It's like always having Spotify running 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. You know,
I
I
have Spotify running 24/7 a days a week. 20, yeah.
yeah.
Mm.
No. If I'm playing like ATS or whatever, I'm literally playing the game. It's like
If
I
if I'm playing ATS, I'm listening to country music on the background.
oh see, I can't do that because it drives me completely nuts. Like
Did you?
like right now,
Yeah.
if I was wanting to put pipe music in here, it would drive me completely apeshit. I would lose my train of thought, you know, more than what I'm doing now because I'm completely, going senile on y'all.
No, I think the only one going senile is Tyler with his music choices.
I mean, I
Let's see what you're
I
listening to.
What are
You
you
should tell
listening
me.
to?
me?
Taylor Swift?
No, I'm
Probably.
not list.
He has
No,
a
I'm not
he has
listening
a
to Taylor Swift.
he had a crush
Um,
on her.
I I did a lyrics thing, like finish the lyrics and all that. I mean,
Oh.
and BB got it right.
What'd BB say?
I told him I told him I've got a feeling that tonight's, and he finished the rest of the lyrics.
I got a feeling that tonight's gonna be a good night. That
That's what someone
tonight's gonna
listened to.
be a good night. That
For
tonight's.
demonetization.
I mean, um, good job, Tyler. That's your fault. I'm blaming it on you.
No,
You should have said that.
we are nowhere near being monetized.
I mean, that is true. I mean,
No,
we're even near
no,
being
I
monetized yet.
I mean, you have to remember there are certain things that you, there's no way that you could be voice matched because number one, we don't use auto tune back to the original singer. And
I mean,
believe me, 90% of the singers now they use auto tune because they can't sing in tune or
Auto-tune?
out of tune. Yeah.
I don't know. I do not know what autotune is.
That's where if you sing out of key just for a fair second or whatever,
What?
or you're completely out of key all the time, it'll make you in key perfectly singing all the time.
Oh.
Damn, Tyler could use that.
What? Okay. Okay. I mean, I mean, I don't know how much it costs,
That's low. Oh, you don't have enough money probably. No, auto tune requires like big fancy audio processing servers and everything else. It's most of the record industry uses them. Like Justin Bieber or and
but
Taylor Swift. You know, I know that a lot of them have to use auto tune. There's just no way that um, it can be perfectly harmonized by kids that haven't had their toes stepped on to get them to talk deeper.
Baby, lock them doors and turn the lights down. I mean, what?
Yep. Yeah, I see. It looks like maybe still a wild Tater or a wild BB is in the chat again.
one
It says Squad
is
Productions.
Is it Tater or is it somebody else who's part of the mysteries of the underworld? I mean, I don't know.
I don't know.
it's probably BB. I don't know.
Well,
I really don't know.
yeah. Normally, if it's the Squad Productions,
It's Nick.
it's Nick.
What? It's Nick. um,
I mean, it could be anybody. I mean, it could
Here,
be.
look, I'm gonna type in Tyler's name. Here we go. See,
it was
Yeah,
it's you.
yeah, it's Nick. Hey, Hammy, how's it going? If
Hey,
you
what's up,
want,
Hammy?
yeah, if you want, you can come on in, join the party. Um, I'm sure you know. I'm sure you got something to say. We got Nick in here. We're kind of talking about a little reincarnation and covering up on a lot of different things at this point.
Yep.
But yeah, I mean, yeah, I have no clue. But I mean, going back to like psychics and stuff, it's like no. I'd rather save my money and go to the county fair and try my luck at skee ball.
If
At
I'm
least
going
there
to the
I know
county
the
fair,
outcome.
I'm always on the scariest ride in the county fair if I'm going to the county fair. The Canfield City Fair up in by my late grandfather's house. He it's one of the biggest fairgrounds in the state of Ohio. I think it's in top 5, but it's got like rides, food booths. There's a derby at some point every night. It's a lot of fun.
Now, when you say a derby, are you talking like horse racing derby or demolition derby?
Demolition derby.
Oh, okay. Yeah, because I mean, like we up here, they have a horse arena, and they do like it's kind of more of a show than anything else. But they don't. It has an oval track around it to do a horse derby, but they haven't done a horse derby for years. And but we have demolition derbies that's out at MRI, Maryland International Raceway, and those are like in June and October.
Okay.
Isn't a derby a hat? Some derbies, yes. But so is that a Kentucky Derby of a hat, or is that the Brown Derby of a hat? But a Brown Derby is also a restaurant.
What's what's that sport where they crash the trucks a lot? I'm trying to think of it.
Well, if they crash the trucks intentionally, it's a derby, demolition derby. I mean,
Oh,
a demolition derby can take on many different forms. I mean, you can have your
so
standard one. You can have soccer, where they have throw a
it's
big old
the
giant ball in there.
it's the one with the big trucks and all that.
The Monster Jam.
Yeah, Monster Jam. I was
Monster
watching
trucks.
that. Yeah, I was watching that with one of my friends and all that, and so
Yeah, I mean, monster
they
trucks.
actually.
Yeah, I mean, I get the monster truck stuff,
Mhm.
but I'd rather go and watch, a good old fashioned demolition derby. Uh, and I mean, I saw one up at MRI, 10 years ago, where two drivers got arrested in the actual derby. And because they threw up the red flag, one stopped, but the other one didn't, and it kind of came back and just tapped the other person. And then they got into a fist fight, and the state police hauled both of them out in cuffs. And it's like, no, that's a good old fashioned demolition derby right there. And I haven't been back in a while, but uh, if you don't know, MRI is Maryland International Raceway, and it's basically a huge long drag strip, but they also have a dirt track right off to the side. Then they take the front section in front of the grandstand and put the concrete barriers in and make the derby pit right there.
Okay.
But one I want to see is the old school bus racing, or
Yeah.
derbies, and the trailer derbies, where they bring in like campers and boats and everything else. And I think that would be fun to watch. I've seen a couple of those on YouTube.
Oh wow. They
Oh,
actually
okay.
did this.
So I was wrong. So the Canfield Fair is the largest county fair in the state of Ohio and the third largest county fair in the United States.
Wow.
Oh wow.
So where's that in location to the state though? Is it like center part of the state or is it
Let me show you. Map of Ohio. Okay.
Whoops.
Okay. Look at my screen.
okay?
Take this. No, I want to make it bigger. Why are you making it smaller? Okay. So you see my cursor?
Yeah.
Canfield's right here.
Okay. So it's over by the Pennsylvania border.
Hmm.
Because I think Pittsburgh is like right here. Or no. Yeah, you're almost. So that's almost by the Wheeling, West Virginia area, also. Okay.
Wait, Pittsburgh? Oh, never mind.
Yeah, Pittsburgh is like right here.
I didn't know Pittsburgh was
What
in
this?
Ohio, but
No, it's not. This is
Pittsburgh's
what
buddy,
this
buddy,
this
buddy.
this yeah. That whole area over there was that whole area over there was Pennsylvania. That little tiny sliver up between was West Virginia, and then the Ohio right there. So, okay, yeah, I kind of been over there once or twice in my life.
I kind of want to visit like Ohio, but not
No,
to
you don't.
stay there or move there.
No, you don't.
But why?
You're not. I'm sorry, buddy. You're not invited. I'm kidding. If you want to visit Ohio, visit Ohio.
I mean, to me, the only
I mean, I
place I'd want to go to Ohio would be Cedar Point, just to go ride all the roller coasters. It's the roller coaster capital of the United States.
I mean, the reason I want to visit Ohio is to go visit Nick and all that. So me and him can go ghost hunting and all that.
Ghost hunting. Okay.
Would it be ghost and shrooms, honey?
Ghost in front.
Go get some shrooms.
Maybe we can record a video about it.
But I mean, so I know Hemi can kind of vouch for some of these. Some of the other parks when I go, it's like Dutch Wonder World and Knoebels, and they're up in Pennsylvania. Um, I want to go hit some of these small mom and pop old time amusement parks up around that area. People always keep telling me, "Oh, you need to go to Hershey's." It's like, no, to me, Hershey's is kind of like a chocolate Mickey Mouse park.
Hershey, Pennsylvania.
Yep, I've been to Hershey's, Pennsylvania, but not the actual park.
You know, to be honest, I never knew there was a town actually called Hershey's, Pennsylvania until I found out about it in school.
Yeah, it's the town that Hershey built, literally. He
Mhm.
built the town, the infrastructure, and everything for his employees to work at his factory. So yeah, and I don't even think the factory's even in production anymore. I think it's only there because historical reasons. I think all of the chocolate and everything's now made in other parts of the world back in. Knoebels Resort is. Hold on, I gotta pop this out so I can read it. My eyes are getting bad. Knoebels Amusement Report is the best free amusement park in the nation. Yep. Uh, really great food. You camped there? Okay, so yeah, Hershey's Park is shit. Yeah, I ain't version of the Six Flags. Yep. Speaking of which, we're losing our Six Flags up here in the DC metro area. November
Are?
the 2nd is the last operating day for Six Flags America. Woohoo!
Oh,
Because that's nothing but drugs and rampant and venomous teenagers.
Venomous teenagers?
Venomous teenagers. Yep.
oh. I think
They
this is.
will. They are. Believe me, you don't want to deal with some of the teenagers up here in the DC metro area. They are very, very mean. That's what we call them, venomous guys. I mean, you never know which one's packing either a knife or a gun.
Oh yeah, it's true.
But, yeah. I saw a couple of deals on Knobles, and it really makes me really want to go there. I've heard that Dutch Wonderland is a good amusement park, but for somebody that if they kind of catch you like trying to vlog or something like that, they get a little pissy every once in a while. Which I mean, I can kind of see it, but in a way I can't see it. Um, it's just to me, I think that any publicity is good publicity. So, but I also understand their stance that they don't want to have people go through and make asses out of themselves and ruin the fun and experience for other people. I get all that.
I got quiet in here.
Yeah, I got quiet. But okay, yeah, yes, we'll definitely look you up on that one, Hammy. Because like I said, that's definitely one on my theme park bucket list. Uh, there's not many on my list anymore, but that one's definitely there. Uh, is the Knobles the one that's closer to you, or is that the Dutch Wonderland one? 'Cause I know that like one's on one side of the park or one side of Pennsylvania, and the other one's kind of on the other side. I mean, it's kind of like Pigeon Forge too. I had a friend that just came back from there, and they said they kind of loved that place, especially Dollywood. Uh, they said that the experience that they had in Dollywood was 10 times better than ever going to Disney World.
Mm.
Kind of in the middle of the big three. Hershey's is the closest. The by the time Knobles is way better than the others. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, because I know for me to get to Hershey's, a it's almost a 2.5 to 3 hour drive, depending on traffic, because I have to go up through Baltimore and fight that crap, and then straight up from there. Okay, but
Mhm.
yeah, but so I asked him. I said, "Well, what do you mean that Dollywood is better?" And they said, "Well, you go to Disney World, you buy a pizza, a personal pizza, right?" And they said, "Disney, it's as flat as a freaking pancake, and it tastes like cardboard, and they charge you $15 for the pizza, a personal pizza." they went to Dollywood and they got what is considerable to be a medium pizza that was thick and it had fresh grated mozzarella cheese on it. Had they had the big deals of pepperoni and they were slicing it and they were putting the pepperonis on the pizza and everything.
Raven pizza.
Yeah, and they said it was like $7.99 for the pizza.
Oh wow.
Okay, so an hour and 15. Okay, so that'd be a pretty good little road trip. 45 minutes. Let's see, 45 minutes for me would only be about 20 miles.
Wasn't Dollywood created by Dolly Parton, if I'm correct?
Yes. So
Okay.
Dollywood Dollywood was a joint venture with the Hirschland family. And the Hirschland family owns Silver City in Branson. Um, they bought it a long time ago and they've been dumping a lot of money into it. So Hirschland Entertainment um, is like third in the nation when it comes to theme. Well, there would be second now because Six Flags and Cedar Point merged together. But they own like if you ever go to like Washington D.C., Branson, Missouri, New York City, um, San Francisco, you can ride what they call the Ducks, and it's a land vehicle that can go in the water and everything. I think Branson's closed down because they had um, a big accident or something that happened out on the lake or something. But
I want to.
um, but they own all those, and they also own a lot of different items around. That like they used to own Opryland USA, that was in Nashville, that closed because they wanted some developer wanted the land and everything, so they lost their lease and all that. But
I kind of
yeah,
want to visit Dollywood, to be honest, because
yeah. I mean, so Dollywood, I guess, literally just turned like I think it's I saw a deal downstairs with that they gave me is like 40 years. So I mean, they've been around for a while. It's like Silverado City. Silverado City's been around since the '60s. So and
maybe my dad would be interested in going with me or something. I don't know.
well, you definitely want to spend more than one day up in Pigeon Forge and Gatlin, Burg, Tennessee, because there's a lot to see and do.
There is.
And I mean, I mean, I mean, it's to me, it would be an interesting place to go, and
Mm-hmm.
one of these decades I may make it up there.
Mm-hmm.
I'm pretty much, just right now still not in the traveling mood.
Yeah, because of all the incidents, or I don't know, but
No, when the big C hit and everything, we had to stay at home and do all this. So it's like you kind of get in that bad rut. It's kind of hard to get out of that. So it's like still working on it. Trying to do better at it. Then trying to keep busy and everything else is always a pain in the one of the last.
mm-hmm.
Uh, so I'll talk back out to y'all. Do y'all have anything else you want to talk about?
Um,
Um,
I'll I'll let Nick go first.
no, I don't have anything.
Oh,
What about
I
you,
mean,
Ty?
I was gonna say that I'm gonna be on the aftermath and all that, or I'm gonna be help co-hosting it, but, or with you and Timmy. So
I've kind of heard some rumors on that, but I haven't had them validated yet.
Yeah.
So I'm still waiting to
Yeah,
find out.
it's actually true. So
I don't know. I haven't heard back from the. I haven't heard back from them yet. So until I actually hear back from the big uh, BB, one eye, whatever he is, I'm gonna wait and see.
I mean,
Um,
Hammy knows about it too. So
uh, yeah, but since BB's supposed to be the ringleader and the connoisseur of drama, then he needs to hop in and make it official or whatever.
I mean,
But I think he needs
I
to do
can
it
get
on
him
the
to pop in.
aftermath.
Hold on.
No, he needs to do it on he
Uh,
needs to do it on the
uh,
aftermath. If he's talking about the aftermath,
uh,
he needs to talk about it on the aftermath.
oh, that's true.
He needs to keep his drama in his own shorts, not in mine.
True. I didn't know what she meant by keep your drama in your own shirts.
No, in his own shorts, man. If he's gonna shit on himself, he needs to shit on himself in his own shorts, not mine. Anybody seen any good movies other than the Minecraft movie that people are still throwing freaking popcorn at the chicken jockeys?
I haven't even
That's the only movie that's interesting me right now. It's just because of that scene. Like if I could just walk in the movie theater, watch that scene, and walk back out again, I'd be fine.
I heard that theaters are stopping. If people do that, they are stopping the movie and kicking everybody out, not refunding them.
Yeah.
I mean, I can
I mean,
see it for the people who are doing it, but for me, if I'm sitting there watching a movie and it happens, I'm gonna be pissed if I get kicked out because I'm watching the movie as a normal human being.
Yeah, tickets are fucking expensive these days.
Yeah, and so is popcorn.
let me look. Let me look.
Popcorn is
Well,
the biggest money maker for a movie theater. I mean, they charge you $20 for a bucket of popcorn that costs 5 cents for the paper bucket, and maybe 75 cents total for popcorn and the butter sauce.
so hold on.
So
Okay.
you're at less than $1 and you're making $20 off of a bucket of popcorn.
Um,
The second cheapest thing is this stuff. I mean, it's a little more expensive now, but it used to be they could get a box of syrup for this was like 5 years ago. You could get a box of syrup for $27.50. Then you can get your CO2 for CO2 was a little more expensive. It was right around $50 for a big green deal of CO2. But if you had the soda mixing and all that machine, you could literally have hundreds of drinks for less than $50. So I mean, the soda, the most important part was the actual cup, straw, and lid. That's where they had their biggest part of their revenue loss from sodas. So when they would do inventory at the end of the night, they would actually count how many cups were left and find out, the difference at that point. Because ice in the soda was more or less giveaway. I mean, that's why restaurants today give you free refills on Coke when you go to like Cane's or Popeyes or someplace, and they just got the fountain machine out there because it's disposable. I mean, you pay your $4.99 and then you get unlimited drinks for pennies on the dollar.
Yep. That is true.
I mean, it's been a couple of years. Like I said, Skyfall was the last movie I saw James Bond in the theater. I think. I've been
Man,
trying to think back. I think Skyfall is the last movie I've seen in the theater,
I think
and
so.
it cost me $15 to buy the movie ticket, and then another $20 to $25 for the drink and the popcorn bucket, and that's because I decided to go with the all you could drink and all you could eat popcorn, and that was good up to the last 20 minutes of the film. So if it's like, okay, I mean, an hour and a half of going up, on Coke and popcorn, yeah, I can handle that.
I mean, I think the last time I went to go see a movie was back in Montana. I was with my grandparents to see the Jungle Cruise, I think, or I think
Oh,
it was or I think it was uh Jumanji Next Level. Yeah, I think it was
Yeah,
Jumanji The Next Level.
yeah. The last movie I saw in theaters was Transformers One.
You haven't
yeah.
gone to see any movies yet, or
It was not any new movies. Like Transformers One just came out like 6 months ago.
oh,
Oh, okay. I thought you were talking about the original Transformers
No,
movie
no,
that came
no,
out, like, on Noah's Ark.
no. You mean You mean back in 2007?
Yeah,
No,
because
damn,
I
that was
mean,
like 13 years ago. Wait,
yeah.
no,
Well, I mean, good example. I mean,
damn.
2012 would have been, the last time I've been to a movie theater. Skyfall. That doesn't seem right.
Damn.
I swear I probably seen another movie in the theater. I just can't remember what it would have been. It was, no, Django Unchained. It came out in 2012 also. So yeah, I mean, it would have been. Yeah, it's been a while.
oh, hey, it's
Yeah,
Hammy.
and Mr. Hammy Games, how's it going, sir?
Oh, it's going. You got me perked up talking about these movies.
Yeah, it's been a while. Like I said, it has literally been a while since I have been to the theater.
Well, I can tell you the last movie I went to see in a movie theater was How to Train a Dragon. So whenever that came out, what 2011 or 12 or something like that, it's been a long time.
The first one came out in 2010.
Oh wow.
So well then, How to Train a I think I went and seen them both. So when did the second one come out?
2025.
No, the second one, not the live action one.
Oh, not the live action. Um, let's see.
So there's one movie I actually wanted to see, but I wasn't born in. Or
2014.
So that was the last time I was at the movie theater was 2014 to go to see How to Train a Dragon 2 because the wife loves that series, or that, like, when the first one came out she loved it. So then we had to go watch it in movies when the second one came out, and now she's excited for the actual, like, the CGI dragon, but the real people. Um,
I'm
I
excited
re-
for it too, honestly.
I refuse to go to the movie theaters. I don't trust society anymore, which is kind of weird. And I definitely am not going to go watch the Minecraft movie for two reasons. One, because as soon as somebody throws popcorn on me, I'm knocking them out. Why would somebody throw popcorn on me, Brandy? Because of that stupid whatever it is, monkey chicken or whatever they yell.
Chicken Jockey.
Chicken jockey. Yeah, that
Chicken
stupid
jockey.
shit. And then, but then there's there's theaters threatening to remove it for for that. Like they're just going to take
Yep.
it out and just make it like a straight to DVD type thing. And there's also a lot of people are complaining because whatever dude's name is that played the long-haired guy that played the freaking dude in the water.
Jason Momoa.
Yeah, him, Jason Momoa.
Yeah.
People are throwing a fit because why is that character in the movie when it doesn't even exist in the Minecraft realm? It's not even part of Minecraft.
I mean, it's true.
Like, see, I play Minecraft, but I don't like. There's the younger generation live and breathe that game.
Yeah.
So I don't know what I know Steve, like I know that character. I think everybody does. But
We all know that character.
Jack Black shit on that too by not even representing it correctly. Like, you know, they say, oh, that Steve has a beard in the game. No, he doesn't. He definitely does not. And like the shirt that he wore wasn't authentic to what the base character wears. So there's a lot of people, and I don't even know why I went down this rabbit hole of even looking into this shit. I think it was probably because there was on my YouTube shorts like a short of 60 seconds of different people freaking out about this chicken jockey thing, and the movie getting shut down, and the staff coming in kicking people out, saying they had to refund all this money because people that went there to legitimately watch the movie with their family couldn't enjoy it. And then there's some with the cops and stuff taking people out. Why would you want to put yourself in that position? Like what? Because somebody seen it on the internet and they wanted to go do it. Like where did that start? How did that become a thing? Did you just start whipping popcorn around as soon as somebody yells chicken jockey or whatever it's called?
Yeah. See, I don't know what is actually going on with the popcorn and everything. I think it's, some stupid, kid got excited and then somebody else saw it, and then somebody decided to pull out their illegal phone in the theater and record it, which you're not supposed to do anyway.
No, you're not supposed to do that.
No, it happens all the time, more than you know. But
Well, yeah, that's how them BitTorrent things came about, right? Like those movie pirates or whatever, Pirate Bay, wherever you'd get a high definition video, and then you'd click on some bitch after waiting 4 hours to download it, and it was somebody with a camera, and all you could see is half the screen because their jacket or whatever was covering up the other half of the thing.
Yep, or it was down around their ankles. So keep it to keep it low in the aisle. Yep.
Terrible footage, but hey, it was free. You could watch. So I'm not a movie guy, right? Like I've said it 100 times. If I see an advertisement for a movie, I might as well not even go, because they told you the beginning, they told you the middle, and they told you the end, right in the advertisement. Why even go? Just to see what happens in between?
Well, it's funny you say that. I was surfing the YouTube rabbit hole of hell, and for The Jerk, the movie trailer said not for general audiences, for movie theater owners only. And it was all part of a joke. And Steve Martin literally said that. He goes, we're not going to tell you what's going to happen in the movie. We're not going to tell you this. But the movie trailer that we're going to show your people is going to be everything that they ever want to see in the movie, and that's it. And then all you got to do is just sit there and get them to come in. We can make millions of dollars off of them and everything, and then move it out. And then you see somebody walk in and say, "Hey, who's this? Why are you showing this to the general audience and everything?" And it's just, basing off the stupid Jerk, but it's the same principle.
I remember, and I know you do too, but like, it's I hate even saying it because it makes me feel old. But do you remember when like the movie trailers would start off like at the sky, and then they would pan down and you would see something happen, but it was only for like a split second, and then it would cut to something else, and it was like a 30 to 60 second rapid fire of what was happening in the movie. not they wouldn't show you a full scene as an advertisement. Now, usually most of it was somebody dubbing over it with audio in a land far away, and then it would be something, Now, Jesus Christ, it's the whole movie is in the trailer, and it's why even do it?
Yeah, Steve Fontaine or something like that was the guy's name. No, Fontaine or something like that was the guy in the world. Had that deep, voice. When he passed, the movie trailers kind of just shifted in a different way because they didn't know how to kind of fill that void, and they still had to get butts in a seat in a theater. But yeah, it's now. I mean, I used to be able to go to trailers.apple.com and be able to watch any movie trailer. Well, they removed that. Now you have to have an Apple TV Plus account in order to go to trailers and watch the movie trailers.
Yeah,
It's
I'm
like,
gonna pay. I'm gonna pay for a subscription to something that is on the TV for like why what the hell is that? Hey, you got to pay me money to watch a trailer for a movie. Now I can see if they were
exactly.
making you they were making you pay to watch the movie. Yes, I would completely get that. But here I'm gonna pay $7.99 a month to just watch fucking movie trailers.
No, for $7.99 a month, they'll give you the right to download the application to watch it.
Oh,
Oh yeah, it's expensive. Uh, and when did Amazon become a movie theater or a movie production company? I mean, I understand Netflix because that's their industry, but Amazon now getting into making movies as well.
why not? They own everything else. They have Thursday night football, and
All
I
the
mean, I
James
would
Bond movies.
personally, I pay for Amazon Prime, so that you're getting everything for one price, as opposed to if you want to watch a stupid movies, you pay for Netflix. If
Yeah.
you want to watch hipster stuff, you got to buy Disney Plus. So you need like 4 subscriptions to watch movies. Where if this is going to offer it where you can get sports movies, that's beautiful. And it's the shitty part. Like, okay, I have Peacock. Everybody knows what's Peacock's was an NBC thing.
Yep. NBC.
Okay, so you already know what you're getting there. They're going to put their branded stuff, the stuff that they own the licenses to.
Yep.
Amazon don't own none of those networks, so they can pay licensing fees and license that stuff. Like during Christmas time, you know the movie The Santa Claus with Tim Allen?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's like my favorite movie in the world. I sit and watch that. Between that and Home Alone, I'll sit and watch that shit back to back to back. And they had a series that they were doing over the past 2 or 3 years called The Santa Clauses on
Oh,
and
that's
and I would
actually
get Disney Plus just for that, like at the end of the year. So I'd buy it just for December, and then I would cancel it. And then you'd get that, oh, please don't leave here. Get Disney Plus for $5.99 for the next 6 months. Well, why ain't it $5.99 now? Why are you offering me a deal? Because I'm threatening to leave.
that's because
Uh,
it goes up.
well, it's a racket.
Well,
They
yes,
could
it's a
do that
scam.
for they could do that.
It was a
Do you remember? Okay, here's a good. Remember, you might not, but remember when Netflix was $7.99?
I remember when it was $5.99.
Yeah, and then it went to $11.99. I don't know
Yep.
what it's at now. Probably still at $11.99, but
No,
they
we're
took away
we're
a
up
bunch of
to
features.
$24 now.
hold
Yeah,
on.
and they took away family sharing.
Yeah. No,
Oh yeah, that's true.
if you want family sharing, you can still get it, but it's like $29 a month.
Yeah, that's
$29
crazy.
a month.
Yeah,
Wow.
Now,
and
if
you can
they
share
had
it up to
actually
three
good,
people.
if they had good stuff on there, okay, sure. But they don't. Like I get or YouTube Premium. There's a lot of good movies you can watch on YouTube that are free
Oh
with
yeah.
YouTube Premium. And I can send the invites. Well, I'll tell you what. I'll tell you exactly how many invites I have left for Premium. Um, There are. Well, maybe I'll tell you. Right here. So I have 2 invites that I could still send. Like, you know what I mean? That's so it's a total of 1, 2, 3, 4, 6, 6 people that you can have as long as they're in the United States. I tried to send it at one point to somebody in Canada, and it said that they weren't able to click on it because it wasn't within their region.
Yeah.
But and that's like $20 a month or something. I don't even know how much it is here. $22.99 a month.
Yeah.
exactly what it is.
It just went up again. Yep.
So to be able to send 6 different people, well, 5 because you got to consider yourself, but 5 other people you could send that to, and they could watch some really good movies. Plus, you don't get no ads and none of that stupid stuff. That's a better bet. Now, don't get YouTube TV. That is way too much money for what you get.
Yeah.
Mhm.
That's a bad excuse for a cable company right there.
Yep.
Well, they tried to tap into the streaming market, but what what killed it is they tapped into the streaming market right about the time where everybody upped their prices, so they had to up theirs too.
Oh
But
yeah.
they started out. There's a bunch of them like what the hell is it? Fubu FOBU or something like that. There's a
Yep.
bunch of really good ones out there that used to be cheap. I had one for NFL and college football. That's all I would get. I would get it beginning of college football, and I would use it all the way up till the end of NFL. And it was
ESPN.
no, it was
No.
I forget. It started
ESP,
with an F.
ESPN is owned by the evil empire of the mouse.
I
Yeah.
mean, there's the NFL. There's the NFL network. You could use. Yeah, I mean, I used to have a subscription for that, but I ended it.
No, it's spelled FUBO. So if you
Yeah.
just Google
Oh.
FUBO, the prices on that used to be really good, and you could get all the like out of market uh, NFL games because I'm a Dolphins
Mhm.
fan. I live in Pennsylvania. I can never watch the Dolphins games unless I pay for something to do it, or I go on an illegal site and watch it until the ads kick on, or till NBC or CBS, whoever it is that's hosting it, runs through the gauntlet and kicks it off the air.
Can I ask a question real quick?
Well, sure.
So, if you're a Dolphins fan, why aren't you in Miami or living in Miami? Sorry, I just had to ask.
Because
see,
he's not rich enough to go live down there in Miami land.
Yeah, I don't make Tyler money.
Tyler money,
I make Hammy money. I don't make Tyler money.
okay.
The reason that I'm a Dolphins fan is because my whole family, growing up, my grandfather, my uncles were all Dolphins fans. So I started knowing more about the Dolphins than anything else. And that's just how it was. Like being a Dolphins fan to me is hereditary. It came with my life.
I mean, I live in the DC area. I am not a Commanders fan. That's for damn sure.
Please stop calling them the Commanders. For Christ's sakes, they're the Washington Redskins. They will forever be
No,
that.
no. If you're going to make fun of them correctly, like a normal person from the DMV. It is the Washington Deadskins because they only hit the dead zone.
They're Washington Deadskins.
Well, here's and that's a whole other thing, right?
on.
Is like even the Native American community said bring back the name,
Yeah.
and what ended up happening was they kind of compromised. They're going to use the logo for special events. Like you know how every team has the throwback jerseys, like every team does. Like the Steelers wear the black and yellow striped uniforms. Like they have that old school. The Commanders are going to wear the Washington Redskins uniform as their throwback uniform. They
Yes.
they decided that at the beginning of this past year, but it won't take effect till this coming season. So you're not going to call yourself by that name, but you're going to wear an image that was so offensive that you had to change your name.
Yeah, and the funny thing is why don't they do that to like the Cleveland Indians? Why aren't they picking on them?
The Atlanta Braves.
Exactly. Kansas City Chiefs.
Yep.
You know, why
That
they
makes
only pick
sense.
one of them? And then while we're at it, why don't you just go ahead and rename the entire state of Oklahoma? Because that is Cherokee for Red Man.
Well, baseball had the Tampa Bay Devil Rays. Now they're just Tampa Bay Rays. They had to get rid of the devil because
Holy
the things in the
Rollers.
water are actually called a devil ray. But you know,
Yeah.
I'm glad that our country's moving in a direction away from that, but I still think that stigma is going to stick there. You know, people get butt hurt. There was an old saying: "Sticks and stones may break my bones, but names will never hurt me." That has since gone out the window.
Oh yeah. Well, weren't they called the Houston Oilers and they had to change their name to the Houston Texans?
So they were the Houston Oilers, but what ended up happening was they moved a little bit, and I think they sold the team.
Oh, okay.
And the new owner didn't like the name Oilers, so they got rid of it, and they went to the Houston Texans. Which I mean, that's kind of it's the same
That's
damn
why
thing. Like if you
that's
watch
why
the,
they
I remember watching the video where they unveiled the new logo and it had the big, uh, big ceremony for it. And they were like, it's the same team that you love, just with a new look and a new name. And I'm like, but no, because if I go out and I buy one brand of chocolate ice cream, that's like saying it's the same taste you know and love, just a different name.
Yep.
It ain't the same.
No.
It ain't the same.
No, you can get me stuck on ice cream for a long, long time. It's like, uh Haagen Dazs or nothing Dazs. I mean, it's just the way I am. It's like gotta love that. You just got your favorite brand. Now, I mean, don't get me wrong. If I'm gonna get soft serve, it's gonna be like a Dairy Queen or something like that because that's the original soft serve ice cream. But if I'm gonna go hard brick type, good old fashioned scoop, it's gonna be like a Haagen Dazs. Speaking of
You
which, I
guys
need to
have
go fill up the freezer.
you guys got Wise Markets in your area?
Unfortunately,
All right, so the Wise's brand chocolate ice cream is what I grew up on. That and the chocolate or the Wise brand chocolate marshmallow. Both of those, just plain chocolate and chocolate marshmallow. Like it don't take much to make me happy. That's I grew up poor, so having the poor ice cream was really good. I eat the name brand stuff. It tastes too sweet to me. Like Ben and Jerry's, that was founded and created at Penn State University.
yeah. Well, I mean, I miss the ice cream I grew up on because it was a local brand, and I mean, there's two brands I missed when I moved out of Oklahoma up to here, and that was Guy's potato chips and
never heard of it. Sorry.
Brahms ice cream and milk.
Well, yeah, but you have your hands on the good old Middlesworth now because Wise's carries Middlesworth. That's
If
the
I can
best
get
potato
my,
chip.
if I can go into a Wise, yeah, because our Wises up here are old Food Lions or old Giant stores, and they kind of kept the same staff and the mentality of them. They just slapped a different name over the top of it.
Yeah, that's like we have a brand here in PA, Middlesworth, and it's the best potato chip. Period. There's people that order that shit from all over the country.
Yeah, I thought your potato chip of choice was Utz.
Oh,
No,
yeah.
no,
Oh,
Middlesworth Kettle Cook Barbecue. Right there it
I
is.
thought, yeah, there's a brand in Pennsylvania called Utz, but I mean, I thought
Well,
Pennsylvanians would eat that. But
Utz,
No,
Utz we
we
call
call Utz.
putts.
Yeah. I was gonna say we call it. Ugh.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah. I mean, uh, and I'm surprised to see what all brands that they actually own. Now, I mean, they're south of the border tortilla chips. They're not bad. They're better than the Utz brand. I'll say that. Um, but the problem is they've been making them thinner and thinner, so it's harder to hold guacamole on the chip.
Hmm.
And don't think about eating Chipotle with them because your Chipotle would end up on the floor.
Man down.
Yeah, exactly.
Mm-hmm.
No, I mean, Guy's potato chips it's an Oklahoma company. And I mean, we grew up eating Guy's potato chips and the green bag, yellow label with the white lettering that says GUIS. Boom.
It's almost like the movie brand Let's. Do you ever see in shows? Look up Let's potato chips, LETS. It's a movie prop. Like every movie uses it because it was created. The bag was created and free licensed to movies. And whenever you see chips in shows and stuff, they're usually eating a bag of Let's. It's like a yellow bag or something, like a Let's potato chip.
I gotta look this up.
Oh yeah.
Yep. All it is just the bag of it just says Let's on it, and then they just fill it with whatever chip they want the person to eat on scene.
Yeah.
Heard of Lay's, but
And you just spelling out GUIS, just like in my brain was LETS. I don't know
Yeah.
why that turned into that, but
Yeah, Guys is now out of Kansas City, Kansas, is where their corporation office is located. I'm looking at their website right now. I can order it
Kansas.
online. Yeah, I can get it off Amazon now. I'm afraid
by
if
the
I
time it-
ordered anything, it'd be nothing but crumbs.
I was about to say, by the time you get it, it's crumbs or the bag's busted open
I
and
don't- I
it's all
don't,
in your
uh,
box.
to be honest, I don't know why Amazon would sell food online. It's just why he's selling food online. But
Actually, Amazon is the best place to get because you're not a lot of that stuff. Like when you buy, like live stuff, like fish or whatever, is not coming from Amazon.
mm-hmm.
That's you order it. The supplier has an Amazon page, and you order it through their page, which reroutes it automatically to their company, and they fill the order.
Mm-hmm.
Very few things are sold by Amazon. You could usually go scroll down, it'll say sold by, and it'll
So-
tell you.
They sell soda that I know of, but hold on. You get Amazon pulled up. Yeah, they actually sell soda on Amazon.
Does it when you scroll down to sold by? Does it say sold by Amazon?
Hold on.
It'll be
Yeah,
down towards the bottom. It'll tell you
yeah.
who it's sold by.
It says shipped and
says
sold by somebody.
It says Coke Zero Sugar, Cola Soda, 12-pack. Visit the Coke Zero store. That's what it says, but
No, it should 100%. Let me just type in. What did you type to get where you're at? Just soda?
Yeah, soda, and it's Coke Zero Sugar.
All right, I'm just gonna click on the very first one, which is a Sprite thing.
A Coke
So
Zero Sugar, $7.92 on Amazon.
This is sold by Coca-Cola, I think.
yeah, so it probably that's probably Coca-Cola's page.
Okay.
And when you buy it, it just sends it right to their distributor, and then it gets sent out.
Yeah, this one I found one from Amazon that's shipped and sold by Amazon. For like $7 for a 12-pack can. Wow.
Yeah.
24 cans is $22.79.
So for a 6-pack, that I can get for a 16.9 one, they want $8.38. That same one right now, I can get in my car, drive 10 minutes, go to Walmart, and get it for $3.34.
Yeah, and that's the convenience store policy, right? Like, if you go to the convenience store to buy a gallon of milk, you're paying more.
Yeah.
than going to a grocery store because it's the convenience of it being closer. So, but there's really no convenience to Amazon. The only difference is you don't have to leave your house because a lot of stuff that, you buy on Amazon that you could go to the store and get, you're waiting a day or two to get it. It's just you're saving money on gas. So is there
Oh,
really a price saving?
but if I have Prime and I spend over $70, I can get it in 2 hours. Delivery by Wise.
Mhm.
Yeah. So here's a funny, well, it's not really funny, but it's a true story. And I was telling the wife this today when we were getting food. You know that the soda brand Starry or the soda flavor Starry? Do you know the
No.
story behind do you know the story behind Starry?
No.
So Starry used to be known as Sierra Mist,
Uh-huh.
and they let the trademark go. And this girl, who's an adult, I don't know the best way to say this, an adult entertainer. Let's just call it that. She made her name Sierra Mist, but she spelled it differently. But she got the name copywritten. And then when Pepsi, I think it was, reached out and said, "Hey, you got to change your name. You're ruining our image." She said, "I own the name. You're ruining my image. Change your name." So that's what they did. They instead of because Sierra Mist wasn't selling anyways, so they just changed it to Starry, and now all of a sudden it's people want to drink it because it's got a different name. That's how simple-minded us humans are. You take the same product, change the name, we'll love it.
Yep. That's, pretty much, the way it is. I mean, well, you know how we call everything generic? Believe it or not,
Yeah.
generic is actually a license and trademark name of a company called Generic. So, I mean, it's literally the same thing. It's like, well, we call everything like, oh, you have a boo boo, go get a band aid. Oh, guess what? Band aids are an actual trademark name that
Yeah,
goes
that's the
back
thing.
to Johnson and Johnson. But it's be, it's gotten to the point to where Johnson and Johnson can't do anything about it because yes, it's a registered trademark name, but in saying it's generically used. So there's really nothing that they can do to go after people by using it.
That's
Now,
like the
if
chicken nugget, right? When McDonald's tried to copyright the name chicken nugget, they couldn't copyright because they're the ones that had the chicken nuggets. They didn't. They made them popular.
yeah,
So they tried to copyright the name chicken nugget, and all the other fast food places are like, "But we have chicken nuggets." So the copyright didn't work. So then they ended up changing it from chicken nugget to McNugget, just
yeah,
so they could copyright it. But when you
yeah,
talk about generic, think about this though. The only thing that's generic is non-medication, right? Like you could buy a generic Dr. Pepper and it's a Mr. Pub or something, right? Like it's the cheap
yeah,
version. But if you buy medication, it has to have the same active ingredients. So it's
yes.
really not. You're just buying it because they mass produce it. Or I don't. I'd love to know actually how medication can be generic and still have all the same active ingredients as the expensive stuff. Because in that case,
So
why is there expensive stuff?
okay, because that's by trade name. So this is where it gets really, really tricky. Um, yes, it has to have all the same drug compounds to be the generics has to meet the same standards as the trade name equivalent. Um, the difference is that it's where it's produced and who produces it and distributes it. So you like Claritin. You can get Claritin now as a generic, but you won't get Claritin. You will get the actual drug name instead of the trade name. or singular. I take singular every night for my allergies, but I'm prescribed Musculeski. Musculeski is the actual name of the drug. So it's basically the same thing. And if you look and see where it's made, most of the time, all of the generics will be made like either Israel or Mexico or some other place. But they still have to meet FDA approvals. They have to submit samples on a daily basis and everything else to still meet all the safety and everything.
Like, I know a lot about business, but that was something that always, like, I know trademarks and stuff, but you can't trademark certain things, right? Like, nobody can
Yeah,
trademark the phrase "the sun will rise tomorrow" because
right.
that's not a thing, that's a fact. You can't trademark the word aluminum because
Nope.
aluminum is a material that is just like anybody
It's an
can make it. You don't
it's an
own,
organic, yeah, it's an organic
yeah,
material.
you
That's
don't
like
own the right
Microsoft.
to it.
Microsoft tried to trademark the word Windows, and they were shot down in a heartbeat because you open a window to get fresh air. So the technical trademark is Microsoft Windows, but it has to now have like XP 7 or 10 or 11 or something on there on the end of it, because it
Well,
has
it's
to
an
have a
identifier.
right, it has to have a product, has to have a product going back to it. Because with software, there can be a point where software can fall into like a public domain state, and if they no longer produce updates or security vulnerability patches or whatever, then it can become abandonware. And then at that point, you don't really have to worry about a license or anything moving forward with it.
Well, isn't
Uh,
that what's kind of going on right now with like the AI and chip technology? I was watching a thing just the other day where Nvidia, I think it is has made a chip, an AI, like a computer chip or whatever, some kind of chip for something. I don't know. I'm assuming a computer that has an AI capability built into it. And Huawei, can't believe I just said that name right. Uh, they're mass producing one on a larger scale that will be cheaper in the industry. Now, that, how isn't it that Nvidia can't copyright that design, right? Or is it like the tire thing? Anybody can make a tire as long as they change the name.
it's kind of the same. It's so if the die is different from NVIDIA and Highway, then there's no identifiable item that they can say, well, ours does this or ours does that. I mean, that'd be like me saying, okay, you're NVIDIA, I'm AMD. Like, hey, you can't do that because I've already got one in production. AMD could come out next month with an AI chip or a Bitcoin. Uh, they're gonna say, well, we're gonna let you have all the fun you want over in the AI world, but you're not allowed to go into the Bitcoin world anymore. We're gonna go make a special processor just for the Bitcoin. But NVIDIA, you're no longer allowed to do that. But we're not going to get into the AI. And AI, and the first thing NVIDIA's going to say is, huh, like hell, go pound sand. We're gonna go take that, and we're gonna go make ours even 3 times better. And
I feel like that's theft of intellectual property at that point, right? Like Huawei, what Huawei is doing, because it's it doesn't really follow trade-based policies because it's a Chinese-based brand, obviously very well known for intellectual property theft. I feel like at that point they're seeing something that they didn't create that's actually important or popular, and they're trying to get on board. And because they're such a well-known deal, and like they have phones and they can just slap their technology into all this stuff and try to take over the market. It's almost like a theft of intellectual property monopoly. I feel like that's the
Yeah,
card they're trying to play.
I don't know on that. I mean, I see where you're getting at, but I think that by the time it all blows out, they're going to say, well, you're going to have to prove that every one of these transistors line up 100%. And I mean, yeah, it sounds good that says, yeah, oh yeah, we can do that. But when you were talking about billions upon billions of transistors crammed into the size of a postage stamp, I mean, I could take years upon years to try to decipher, did they get every one of them or match every one of them 100%? And then by that point, patents, you can start a patent infringement lawsuit, but you have to have the proof in order to back that patent infringement up. And you have to base it off, the prototype for what it was actually done on. Patent law is one of those deals where it can take a long time to go through
Yeah,
unless it's all theory.
the patent war all circled around a broom.
Yeah.
I'll never forget that being taught that in school in business school was watch your patents, because the patent war started over a broom. Um, Somebody created a broom. Somebody else found a way to make it better. They used basically the same exact thing that was patent. They just changed it a little bit, and then they marketed it as a phrase that does not exist, but everybody knows it: the new and improved. It can
Yep.
only be one of the two. It can either be new or improved. It cannot be both. And that's where the patent war started. Over basically was when somebody created another broom and said it was new and improved. And the company that owned the patent to the way that their broom was made said that's our broom. And the company was like, no, it's not. It looks like it, but it's just better. It's improved.
Yeah, we
So it
tilted the
can't it,
head. We tilted the head 2 degrees,
Yep, it
and
can't be new and improved. Those two words don't make no sense. That's the biggest one of the biggest oxymorons in the world. That's like second to military intelligence and right under jumbo shrimp.
exactly. Yeah, shrimp is like the smallest thing you can put in your mouth. Uh, yeah, so it's like we dealt quite a bit. I can't go into some of it still because I'm still under some NDAs and everything, but we've had a couple of products that we were looking at that literally were going back and forth between pissy fits with one company over mobile technology, uh, and finally it got to the point to where the pissing war, they just said, why don't you just go ahead and buy us out? And they did. And then now it makes no difference because their patent is only good for 20 years. So you can't renew a patent either. That's the deal. Once your 20 years is up, you better make
It's
all the
open
money.
market.
That's right. So I mean, the you can make a change, but your patent at that point is only good for that change that you made to the original product. I
Right.
mean that.
Basically, the moral of the story on a patent is a concept, and all you're doing is you're protecting your concept. But
Yeah.
once that concept expires, then it's free market, and that's why I love our free market trade. Is that if you wait long enough, you can get on board with something that was popular 20 years ago, 30 years ago, and bring it back, which is great free market. But it sucks that it takes so long. But still, like if you had the decoy ducks, if you created a product called the decoy ducks, and you modeled it a certain way, and that way was never done before, I'd have to wait 20 years or whatever it is, 15, 20 years in order for me to use that concept and modify it, because I can't use it solely because there's intellectual property.
Yeah. Well, that's like if you ever gone to like AutoZone or any of those places, and you see those little tiny felt washers that you can buy to put on your battery post. They call them like battery washers or whatever. My grandfather actually invented those, had the patent and everything, and I had a whole box of them that was like just sitting around in his garage after he died and everything. And I tried selling them, and I gave out a couple as samples and everything, just trying to sell them. I had like probably close to 100 boxes of them, and nobody ever actually bought any of them. But some of the samples came out. Then about 5-10 years later, here comes the battery washer. No patent on them, just AutoZine or AutoZune or Auto Start. Battery washers started showing up out of the blue, and it's like, oh, I wonder where they got that idea from.
Yeah, that's you know what, and that's kind of a full circle thing, because that's why I like YouTube. I hate YouTube. I hate creating videos for YouTube, um, because their policies are so strict. But that's also why I kind of like YouTube, is because if I'm going to use a song that you made, if I give you credit for that song, you can't copyright it. You know what I mean? But if you just so happen to stumble across a video that um that of mine that has your song on it, and into the description of the video or even on screen there's no credit given, then I'm screwed. Then they can, you can hit me with a copyright claim. That's why people that do like these podcasts and news stuff, you can use footage, you can use audio, you just have to put on screen courtesy of, like, or provided by, or
Yeah.
give the YouTube name of the person. You can absolutely use. I think it's up to 30 seconds though. Like there's only a certain amount, unless you bought the footage, then you have the rights to it legally on the back end. But like if I wanted to cover a song, I could play a song on YouTube for like 15 or 30 seconds, as long as I give credit for it. But if I let the whole song play, then I'm in trouble.
Yeah, well, it varies. I mean, there's the fair use, safe harbor laws that are out there. So, like, if I am, let's say, critiquing your video, let's say one of your Schedule One videos that you have out, I can actually have myself with you on there critiquing it, doing a either reaction video or something else. And that's covered under fair use because I'm not ripping you off. I'm critiquing a
Giving
video
commentary over it.
right, so there's different things, but YouTube will take 1,000-page law and only read the first 5 pages and get the abstract or the bluff of it, and then say, okay, this is all we're gonna understand of this law. So they just say, oh, that looks illegal, so boop, you're off.
Yeah, and what's good about when I do my videos is I literally upload all my videos under the Creative Commons license. So anybody can download them. Anybody can. I mean, if you download and re-upload it, I'm probably going to say something. But if you download it and then do commentary, whether it's good or bad, I don't really care, because it's still eyes on.
Yeah.
Uh, that's just how I view it. There's no such thing as bad publicity. If somebody's talking shit about my video, somebody might think that person's wrong. Go watch my video. So hey, talk all the shit you want. It's
It
there's I know YouTube has different licenses, and I can use, like, I think they have like 2 or 3, and I can use 2 of them. I think there's like a standard license and a Creative Commons. I keep mine under Creative Commons. That way, That way it's open for everybody. And I even have my stuff selected that allows people to do that, like to be able to clip it and I think by default it does that. It lets you do that by default. But still,
Yeah.
um, people that don't understand how the digital age or media works is doomed from the start. You have to be able to, and that's why I think that with Aftermath, what we should do is we should start clipping sections that we think are important and then play them back during Aftermath as like a context, like, hey, this was said on this show, boop boop, play it. All right, what do you guys think about that? Right, that gives context for everybody to react to instead of saying, hey, I didn't watch it, so I can't comment. Well, here's a clip.
Yeah. Um, I think something like that needs to be done, and trying to get more engagement into more of the podcasts, not just from Timmy and I, because I mean, in a way, it can be kind of hard to sit there and try to keep up with 7 different podcasts every night, and then feel like you have a homework assignment on the night of. Make sure you have all of them watched, and then try to remember who said what and when. Um,
Yeah.
it gets a little hard. Um,
Yeah, I feel like, and it's only going to get worse, right? Because there's more podcasts coming. So
exactly.
it's really you start off with like, okay, we're just going to cover two drunks, and then two drunks turns into at the time the Delta BB Unfiltered, and then it turned into the next one, and you guys are like, okay, holy shit, okay, whoa, and now we're
Yeah.
up to what, 5 or 6 podcasts,
7, I believe.
and I got
We have.
Hammy's Hangout on the back burner just in case I need it. I don't know.
Yeah. I mean that's the way this podcast started originally. It was like, okay, I was gonna fire it up the front porch, literally under the Decoy and the A brand. But the more and more BB and I got to talking in December, I kind of put it off, and it's like, well, I'm still kind of working on stuff. Still kind of work. I kept it on the back burner for the longest time, and then something came up 3 weeks ago, and he needed something in a hurry, and he kind of, made me into a quick and easy speed bump to get it out. So the bus hit hard, but it got me a little more motivated to get it out. So it's here.
Yeah, that's the best you could add. Like, and that's the thing, right? You have to be able to be flexible. And I've told people this many a times. I've told you this too.
Yeah.
And like, I'm willing to come on podcasts and stuff, but don't give me a day's notice. And sometimes you might have to pester me because I get so many notifications and so many messages a day that I just don't get to them. I might click on it but forget to respond.
Yeah.
So there might be times you have to just hit me every day. If you start on a Monday and your podcast is on Saturday, hit me Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday until I give you a yep, I'll be there. Well, don't do it Saturday. Don't do it day of because I
It's
don't
gonna be
know
hard.
what the hell's going to happen. Yeah, I don't know what I have planned. Sometimes my plans come up within 24 hours. So I need a couple days in advance so I know. And that's, if that's my issue with if I do want to do a podcast, like I talked to BB about it. I have days set aside to record my YouTube videos. I will not be guests on podcasts on them days. Like uh, Wednesday is my recording day. I'll get 5 or 6 episodes done. If I get done in enough time, absolutely. But you figure my videos are 30 minutes. You do 30 times 6, whatever that comes up with. That's about the time I'll get done.
Yep.
Um, and if I don't get enough done in one day, Thursday's my backup. But
Right.
I have to have enough out to come out. I need 5 a week because I need Monday through Friday. Doesn't matter. I need 2. Right now I'm doing supermarket simulator and schedule 1. So I need 2 supermarket sim, 3 schedule 1 because schedule 1 right now is my most popular video. Should that fall off, then supermarket sim will sweep in. I don't know how long I'm gonna play either one of them. You know, I might cut the series at any point and start a new game. Just depends.
Yeah, and I mean that's totally understandable. I mean, it's there's other things that do happen, and there's and so I mean, it's like tonight. I didn't know if I was actually going to be able to actually be on directly at 9 because I was still waiting for food to get here, and it's like I'm one of the type of people I will not eat on camera. That's just who I am. I know people who have podcasts that are built around like this, and that's all you see is them stuffy, 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 and it's like no, no, no.
Yeah, that's not professional.
Yeah,
I'm trying to tune in for what you're talking about, not what you're eating. I don't want to hear lip smacking and chewing. I want to hear content.
you want to see you want to see somebody eating or food on a screen, go watch a Jeff Gordon or whatever his name is, Gordon Ramsay or whoever, go watch one of his shows. You're not going to find it here.
Content is key, especially trying to grow a brand like what's happening here. I think the important part is putting content out there, regardless. Doesn't matter the topic. Like the concept behind what you're doing is stay in your seat, don't let your head swell up. But it's pretty well brilliant because there is no concept.
No.
You're calling it the front porch. You're saying, hey, grab your coffee, come over and shoot the shit with me. Let's talk about whatever.
Yeah.
There's no let's talk about this. Let's spend a segment on this. You don't even need a format.
Yeah,
Just
I mean
go
the only
live.
I mean like okay, so good like today, the episode's title is called Close Calls, Comebacks, and Crowns. The close call is because we had another incident that happened 2 days ago at DCA with another Black Hawk helicopter. The comebacks was because of a 97-year-old lady that just started a podcast. You have to be over 90 years old to be on her podcast. And the crowns is because the Triple Crown kicked off. The chase for the Triple Crown kicked off yesterday with the Kentucky Derby going to the Preakness, going to Belmont. So that's how I came up with my title for. Those are the hard set titles that I actually had, or the stories that I had to keep the podcast going for the first 30 minutes or so if nobody showed up.
Well, yeah, I mean, no, that's really not a format, though, is it? That's kind of
No.
like just a this is what I'm talking about, whether you like it or not, kind of deal. I mean, and that's people coming onto your porch. It's your porch.
Yeah.
That's what you're allowed to talk about.
Well, what I do, just to give everybody that's listening or whoever wants to know, is I go live every Sunday at 9 p.m. So at 5 o'clock, I normally start looking at the top news stories of the previous week, and I go through and I weed out all the political shit and all the stupid medical, guises and all that. And I try to find some good front porch conversational. So if I'm talking about it and Hemi pops in, he can kind of join in on that conversation if he wanted to. And then, I'll ask Cammy, hey, do you have anything that's on your mind? And then try to flip off of any story that I have and then roll it over to them to get them to start a good conversation.
Yeah, no, and it works. It's a really good concept. I think there's really nothing that would have to change about it. The only thing for me as a viewer that would change is the backdrop because it still says episode 1 celebrities or celebrating legends and saying goodbye. Other than that, I would say we're probably good. I got confused by the name in the background. I'm like, wait, episode 1? No, this is like episode 4.
Are you
3.
sure? Are you sure?
Hold on,
Look
let me
again.
see.
Look again.
Oh,
Look again.
oh, did somebody fix it?
Episode the front porch episode 3. close calls and
No,
comes
no, no,
back
no.
and frowns.
The background, your OBS background.
Oh, okay, never mind.
What? Well, I don't see one.
Yeah.
I think it just went
Ah.
poof.
Mm.
It went poof, did it?
So,
That magic
Yeah.
poof button. We don't
Yep,
all
the
have
magic
one of
poof.
them.
Yeah,
I had a
it's.
story.
I think I'm just gonna take that one off and just leave the front porch up there. I think I don't think the episode needs to be there because it's actually in the title and everything. And you know, there's certain ways that YouTube likes to have podcasts done. Uh, I'm still watching other deals, trying to figure out what's the best way to move forward for everybody within our brand and everything. So
Mhm.
I try to use myself as a little bit of a guinea pig for some of these, but I think that once we get something to where we start seeing massive increases by the way that YouTube is wanting to push our information out, I think it'll help quite a bit. And then I definitely think we need to start still look at doing other than YouTube for just distributions and everything else. But I think we're gonna leave that up to the
BB.
grand poobah of BB land.
So I got a story if we can.
Sure.
Or so I just found out that they're gonna reopen Alcatraz as a prison.
There's no way they can reopen Alcatraz as a prison.
I just found that out.
No, number one, Alcatraz is actually in 1960. Alcatraz was in such bad condition that the concrete was actually crumbling underneath it. Then after that, the Native Americans took it over, turned it into a Native American reservation, and burned over. I want to say it was close to 40% was lost due to fire and arson, and that includes all the barracks and everything else. So all of that has to be rebuilt. Uh, Utilities
Or
are still sparse because they have to generate their own power. Water has to be, repumped, refiltered. It would not make sense to
They-
even think
they-
about reopening.
Okay, so no, and I'm kind of glad, Tyler, you brought that up because I read that
There's
earlier
one-
too. Like I
there's
literally read
one
the entire
person
article
who-
on it.
there's one person who wants to reopen it, and he's the president of the United States.
Yeah, that's what I was about to get at. Is I read the article on it where Trump order has directed the Bureau of Prisons, the Department of Justice, and the FBI to reopen
Mhm.
Alcatraz to hold because Guantanamo Bay is not a viable option. They're still using it, but
Mhm.
it's not a viable option to hold immigrants and America's most deadly, not deadly, but dangerous criminals. Um,
Mhm.
the argument though is that right now it's under the Parks and National Park Service or whatever. Like that's a national. So they have that whole building renovated in a way to accommodate guests, not inmates.
Mhm.
So what happens? Okay, now then, and this is a good topic too because, yes, the president has the authority to reopen Alcatraz. 100% undeniable. That is a federal building. He has the right to do whatever he wants with it. But is it realistic? Let's be fair. No. Till they put modern plumbing in that thing and they upgrade the electrical and make so it's not a
It's
1950s
no.
jail.
They
There's no
cannot.
way.
They cannot do that though. They cannot change anything about that because Alcatraz is not only under the NPS, but it's actually also listed as a National Historic Landmark. So it's got protection under that.
Yeah, but the president can with an executive order can override all of those departments. So and like I looked into it. Trust me, I definitely did, because I thought, wow, is he? This is one of the is he off the rocker moments? Did he fall off a chair? He can absolutely reopen that as a prison, but at the cost of reopening that, everybody, the whole bragging about how much money was saved with these Doge savings and stuff. It's going to cost that plus some to get this place back to where you can actually put prisoners there, because you got to renovate the whole place. First off, you have to remove the Park Service stuff, renovate the whole place to be modern, because the federal system has to be under code. So it has to be like the jails or the cells, everything is going to have to be completely redone. They might as well tear the son of a bitch down and rebuild a new one.
Yeah, and see
Is what
that's gonna be a problem for him, because the Antiquities Act of 1906 grants the president the power to designate national monuments by proclamation, but it does not grant the president power to abolish or significantly modify them. Legal opinions have said that even revocation of national monuments, especially ones under the National Park System Service, requires an act of Congress in order to do it, and not a presidential action. However,
Well, he already
presidents can
signed.
modify existing monuments by enlarging or diminishing their boundaries, or changing the management terms. Yeah, so I have a feeling that that would be one that would actually be probably challenged by a lot of people through the other things that's been going on. So, like through
You
the
know what?
Supreme Court and stuff.
Mhm.
There's no. If you've been watching any of the podcasts that I've ever been a part of here on this channel,
Hmm.
you know my stance.
Oh yeah,
I am a conservative. I do not hide that. But I think this one here, he might have got himself in a little bit further than he can handle. I don't know presidential authority. That's probably a lot of that is, might be some top secret stuff what he's allowed to do. But just
Mhm.
knowing that the president can designate something doesn't mean he can undesignate it. Like, okay, the terrorists, one president can designate somebody a terrorist, another one can not.
right.
That's an administrational view. That's not a national policy. Um, do I think Alcatraz would be a great prison? Absolutely. But find
It's a
another
small
island and build
island.
one. Find another island and build it.
Yeah,
Mhm.
yeah.
Because even if he does have the authority to make the current Alcatraz back into a jail, the cost that it's going to take to renovate it would be cheaper to build a new one.
Mhm.
Let's put it this way: it won't be done until he is out of office. Also,
Oh, he'll be bones by the time. There's
exactly.
no way. There's no way that's not a 15-20 year project.
Mhm.
It's impossible, because you're going to
Yeah.
have legislation that has to be made to remove it uh, as a historical site. Historical
Plus,
sites cannot be occupied.
yeah, it'll probably take a good 5 to 10 years just to get rid of all the asbestos that is all over that island.
Yeah,
Plus,
it's
I don't
it.
think there's roads to get to that island either.
Oh no, and that was the reason why it was built. That's the whole reason, is
Yeah.
because it was put in an area in
Mhm.
California that the water there is 5 times worse than that of the Hudson River. And if you've ever been on the Hudson River, you know that can be like the ocean.
Yep.
Um, and imagine 5 times worse than that. That's why the whole escape thing is there's a conspiracy whether or not they made it. I don't believe they did. I don't think it's possible. The place is infested with sharks. Uh, so yeah, no, there's definitely no roads to get in and out. Your only way to and from there, at least back when it was operational, was by
There's a
boat.
boat.
Yep.
Now, nowadays, they could probably just terraform the land a little bit and make a helipad.
Mhm.
But if you were an inmate, you got there by boat, you left by boat. If you were going to see somebody that was an inmate, you got there by boat, you left by boat.
Yep.
Them's were your only options. You had but one.
Mhm.
Yep. because it's 1.2 miles from the mainland.
But here's the thing, right? Is we have that, and you might know all about this, Tyler. Isn't there a federal prison there in Colorado
Yes,
that's
there
like
is.
a supermax
Yes, there is
that
the
right now is holding
supermax.
the Oklahoma,
Bombers
or not the
Row.
Oklahoma.
Yep,
Yeah,
Bombers
it's
Row.
like the. Don't you have El Chapo there or something?
Yes,
Because
we
it's the
do.
most unpenetrated.
Or
You can't get
actually,
out of there.
Ted
actually, I think
Kaczynski.
he died in the prison. Or
No, it's
actually,
Charles
no, it's
Manson.
someone. Yeah, yeah. Who?
Yeah, you got the Boston Bombers up there. You got everybody
Yep.
there.
You had
So if we're
Charles
gonna house
Manson until
them
he
there,
died.
Oh yeah. The
it's Florence, isn't
FBI
it?
person.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's in Florence.
Yeah. Okay. So let me ask a question. If we can house them there and they haven't got out, why can't we just build on the mainland in a place they can't get out? Why do we got to open up a historical place? What's
I
the
don't
problem
even
here? I don't like. I fully support 95% of what Trump's doing, but some of this shit
Mhm.
he is talking out the wrong side of his
Yep.
mouth.
Oh yeah.
I mean, we already have a prison that's here and all that, but I don't know why he would want. He
Yeah,
doesn't.
I mean,
well, but
want the
Tyler, but
prisoners
to be
here.
fair though, that prison has a capacity that it can
Yeah.
only hold so much, and if they were to take all of these people and just dump them into the Florence Supermax, it would be over capacity in a week.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's
So
I mean, they could also, use Fort Knox. I mean, nobody's been in and out of Fort Knox in years.
yeah, and if they put them in there, everybody will forget about them and just won't think they're there, like the gold.
Exactly. Pretty much.
Right. Yeah, no, he might have the authority to start the conversation, but I don't think he has the authority to just make it happen. And if he does, like I said, he'll be dead and gone. We'll be like 4 presidents from now until somebody lands there as a prisoner.
Oh.
By then, 100% a Democrat will get elected and cancel the plan.
Oh yeah.
So that will never ever happen.
I think I know the guy you're talking about, Steve. Isn't it? I think Robert Hansen. He died in that prison.
No,
No,
Charles Manson.
Charles
Oh.
Manson.
There was a FBI director who got arrested, and he actually got sent to that prison named Robert Hansen. So
No,
Yeah, no,
Charles Manson was
Charles
the Manson
Manson,
family.
Ted Kaczynski, the Unabomber.
Yeah, and what the hell was his name? The Oklahoma City bomber
Terry
was there too,
Nichols.
wasn't he? Nope, the other one, the mastermind,
Nope.
Terry Nichols. He's probably still there.
Yeah, Terry Nichols is there. Nope. Timothy McVeigh was never at Florence. He was at Terre Haute.
Oh, is that
Because
where he was executed?
Yep, because that's the only federal death chamber, and so he never made it to. He never made it out that far.
Well, is that Tarnai? I'm gonna butcher the shit out of this. Zarnai Taikawa or something like that. The Boston bomber, the only one that survived. Didn't he
Yeah,
get the death penalty?
I
no.
don't know. He said Boston.
Zarnai. I can't. There's no way I can say it. It's like Zarnai, Zarnal, something like that. But
So
go ahead.
So I was gonna say there's a fun fact. So they have to blindfold the prisoners, the most dangerous ones. They have to blindfold them and all that.
What
Like
at Florence?
yeah,
Well, hell, that's some Russian shit there. That's what they do in
and
Russia. They blindfold them and make them bend over like a broke back ostrich to go anywhere.
so they don't figure out how to get out and all that.
Oh, there's no way out. Like
Mhm.
that place is built in a way that you would need a military to come get you.
Mhm.
And even if a military was to come get you, they would have a day's notice that the military's coming. Right? Like
And
there's documentaries that you can watch about it that'll tell you that even all the prison cells, the windows are angled to only look up at the sky. So they get light, but they can't see shit. They can look at a sky. Maybe if they're lucky, they look out and watch a plane contrail go by. That would be it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
If
the Boston bomber was actually sent to ADX Max due to extreme, unique security management requirements instead of being sent to Terra Huddle.
but he was at Florence though.
Yes, he's still at Florence.
Oh, he's still at Florence.
Yeah. I believe he is still. Yeah. He is currently being held on death row at ADX Florence. But he'll have to be he'll have to fly Con Air to go get the sip this the wonderful juice.
You'll get the shot of his lifetime.
Yep.
Well, it's one of those things.
Mm-hmm.
I don't understand it. Like I said, well, I think I said it during Unfiltered. The whole Elon Musk go terraform Mars. If we're going to spend the money to go up there and figure out how to turn Mars into Earth, why can't we turn Earth into Earth? If we're talking about turning a prison that's no longer a prison, hasn't been a prison for none of our well, I don't know, Steve or Decoy. Damn it, clip it. If
Clip
you
it.
were alive, if you were alive when Alcatraz was still operational, if you were,
No.
you were probably just a kid. Yeah, I was gonna say I would doubt that because it was in like the 70s or 60s it ended, right?
67, I believe, is the last year.
Yeah. So if we're gonna spend the money to terraform Alcatraz from a prison back to a prison, save the money, go find a spot out in the middle of nowhere and turn it into a prison.
Well, we'll just dig a hole and just throw them in there and forget about them. Be done with it.
We have thousands of military bases all over the country. Why not build a section onto the military base and send all the dangerous prisoners there?
We have hundreds of old Nike military silos that are in the ground. Why not reconvert them?
I think it's name, it's name recognition, right? Like we're gonna send them to Alcatraz. Okay, cool, but why not just build a prison, build a bridge across the Grand Canyon and build a prison right in the middle of it, and say if you want to come or go, you got two choices, left or right. Because if you go any other direction, you're falling down. There's a road. You can make your run for it. We're either gonna shoot you in the back or in the forehead. You got your choice.
Just get his old buddy Elon to get him rocket and just make one on the moon.
Well, that's probably not far off. Anybody convicted of like that, to me, that would be the cheapest way. Hey, you're sentenced to death. Your form of death, we're not going to spend all this money on medications and stockpile them and risk some kind of lawsuit down the road. We're going to wait. Every 5 years, we'll commit. We'll execute the death penalty, and we'll do that by sending you on a rocket. We're gonna let the first stage detach, and wherever you go, that's where you die.
Yeah.
Just send them off. It costs less money over 5 years to shoot 50 people into the sky than it will be to house them, feed them, execute them.
Mm-hmm.
It's kind of cruel, but at the same time, like, I don't. The last thing I want to hear, because when you look at executions, when they do executions, what is the manner of death? Look at an autopsy. What is the manner of death of an execution? A state-run or federal-run execution?
Perfect.
Homicide.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
It's legal murder is what it is. The cause of death is labeled as homicide. If we're going to do it, at least let's get our money's worth. Let's get a show you can put on TV, because you're not going to see them die. But you're going to see the rocket take off. That'll get viewers. You know what that means, right? Money.
More
More
public
money.
executions.
Yeah, like Super Bowl. You can do it once a year. Have like Execution Sunday.
Execution Sunday.
Just have this whole run up. Like do like a 2-hour special of each person that's on there. You know, designate a section of that 2 hours to this is what they did and this is why they're on death row. Give everybody so much more hatred towards these people. And at the end, 10, 9, 8, poof, there goes the rocket.
So,
all right, well, let's go to bed.
So you're trying to say, Hammy, you want to be the Killian, the Running Man?
I'll push the button to launch them some bitches. I'll be the one to do it publicly. With my face and all, not glitched out. Let's do it.
Yeah.
That would to me seems more humane. Because if I killed somebody and you sentenced me to death and you said, all right, Hammy, you're gonna die by getting on a rocket and going into space. 10-4, good buddy, because I'm gonna live to be further than any human ever traveled. And maybe the next flight, that person might live further. So there's history to be made there. And it's cheaper.
So you're trying to say, see if you can set the record for each launch?
Yeah. Hook up heart monitors to everybody that we can monitor on Earth and see who the first person that lived the longest was. Then we'll know without food or water what is the furthest in space somebody can go before they need food or water.
Yeah. You're not
It's a
far
science
off
experiment.
there. You're not far off there, Hunter. You know, it does kind of sound like something out of Idiocracy. I don't know if Bill's seen that movie or not.
Clip it. Clip it.
Clip it.
Starting to
Yeah.
sound like something.
Yeah,
Clip it.
so
He said my name. Clip it.
oh yeah, hey, paybacks are hell, aren't they?
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, I mean, take Idiocracy and Running Man, combine them both together, and make a movie, and then we can use that as a selling ploy to move forward.
Hold
with
on, I need context. What is both of those movies about? Because I don't know what Idiocracy or that other one you just said.
Okay, the Running Man had Richard Dawson, you know him, the kissing bandit from Family Feud, and Arnold Schwarzenegger. Dawson played a game show host, and Arnold Schwarzenegger was the running man, and he had to run for his life in a gladiator-style game. It was an old movie. I mean, it came out like late 80s, early 90s.
Hold on, I'm gonna stop you there. Don't use that time frame to describe old, please. I mean, I'm early 80s, but okay, sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off.
Okay, so The Running Man, the original one came out in 1987.
Okay, you just made it worse because you said late 80s, early 90s. I wish you would have said mid 80s. But you could refrain from using the word old when talking about that time period.
Right. And I guess
say mature. Mature is better.
Mature.
Better.
So I guess they're actually remaking The Running Man for 2025. So I guess I'll have to see how bad they butcher the original one. So it's based on the Running Man short novelette by Stephen King also. But written under his pseudonym. And then the other one, Idiocracy. That should be a homework assignment for anybody that's in the squad. Idiocracy is a Mike Judd film who's, Beavis and Butthead.
I was about to say, isn't he a Beavis and Butthead guy?
Yes. Idiocracy is Office Space, but in the future.
Oh, Family Guy. Sorry.
No, not Family Guy. Office Space.
Okay.
The red stapler. Does that ring a bell? Jump to conclusions, Matt.
I'm not a movie guy. I don't watch movies. So
yeah, Chi-Chi's. Okay, so you got 2 homework assignments, Bill. You got to watch Idiocracy and Office
Clip
Space.
It. He said it again. Now I owe you one. Clip it. Clip it.
What do you expect? We are hitting.
Beavis and Butthead, but I've never watched it in my life.
Oh my god, you gotta watch Beavis and Butthead.
You're missing out. That's a good show.
You gotta watch
That's a
the old
generational show.
and the new. The new ones are even hilarious, where Beavis and Butthead have kids, and the kids act just like they did when they were kids, beating the shit out of each other. Oh, it's
I'll
hilarious.
probably watch. It's probably on Hulu? I bet.
If
I
not,
don't think
YouTube exists for a reason.
exactly. I don't think Beavis and Butthead would not be on Hulu. I don't think, unless Hulu covers
Adult
MTV.
content, yeah, it's very adult oriented content.
No,
It was sketchy back then. You know, we're talking. I like Deco. Oh, I almost said your name. Almost, just about. I was insulted today and didn't know it until I was on my way out of the store.
Really?
Yeah, and it pissed me off a little bit. And I got into the vehicle and I said to my wife, I'm like, I think the guy in there just insulted me. And I told her what happened, and she's like, yeah, he definitely did. So I went and got a case of beer, put it up on the counter, went to pull out my ID, and he's like, no, I don't need it. And I said, oh, I must look like I'm over 21. And this smartass said to me, he said, no, our store policy is if you look like you're over the age of 35. So I just slowly tucked my ID back in, pulled out the bank card to pay for the beer, and I'm getting ready to walk out, and I'm like, buddy, I am 35 plus some years. Why would you say, I don't care about your store policy? You could have made me feel good and said, yeah, you definitely look like you're over 21. That would have put me, there would have been a 20-year gap, 21-year gap in between when I look like I am and what I am.
Yes. I get it. And he's probably been beat around the bush numerous times because of the stings going on for the underage sale of alcohol. So he must, if he doesn't ID and you say something, he must say, because our policy is this, in case there may be some LEO or something within the tri-state area that might be able to hear what he's saying.
Oh, that's bad, because normally whenever I show my ID, I always tell them I'm 14. I'm really good at faking IDs. Like I
Yeah.
always just say, I always have some smart ass comment, because if you look at me and don't think I'm over 21, then you and I need to be friends, because that's the best compliment you could give me.
Yeah.
But when he said, "Oh no, our policy is you have to, if we think you're over the age of 35, we don't have to card you," and I'm like, "Are you really?" That's like the lady when I was getting beer another time, and she turned around and said, "You look like my brother. He passed away. You're just as husky as he is, or husky as he was." And I thought, did this bitch just call me fat? Is that what she just did? I left it go because she was an old lady, but at the same time.
Oh no, I would have taken it a different way. I would have said fat, pale, and stiff. Dead brother. I mean, it fits the description.
Yeah, nope. She's like, "Oh, you look like my brother, or you look like my brother. He passed away, but you're just as husky as he was." And I know what husky means, but right in the moment, I was caught off guard. I wasn't expecting that. You don't go to the store just to be like, "Hey, what's up, fat guy?" All right, well, damn, there it goes.
I don't know.
Just ruined my day.
I think they kind of do that now. It's like, me being as tall as I am, I get asked probably 5 or 6 times every time I'm out somewhere, "Damn, how tall are you?" And I say, "Well, it depends on what convenience store I'm leaving, because some say 6 foot, some say 6'6", some say 7."
Yeah, I mean, like I'm a tall guy, and I'm 220 some pounds last I knew. I'm not
Husky.
I'm not small at all. I got a beer belly, but
I mean,
damn,
who
that's
does?
because I drink beer all the time. But for this lady to turn around and say that, like, to me, okay, first off, you're gonna say you look like my dead brother. I'll take that as a compliment because I assume you love your brother. But then to say you're just as husky as he was, that means you just look like my fat dead brother. That's what you just said to me.
Yep.
That's what you said to me. And this guy here at the store today is like, "Oh no, our policy is over 30. If you look like you're over 35, we don't have to card you." Also, what you're saying is I look old. You're not telling me I'm old, but you're telling me I look old. Is it the gray hair or is it the wrinkles? Like, what is it that makes you think I'm old? I'm
So
young. Fuck all y'all. I'm young.
did both of these comments happen in the same store at the same time, the same day?
Ironically, no, they happened in the two different stores, almost a year apart, but in the same store franchise. They both happened in a Sheets.
Well, that's half your problem right there.
I was like, you gotta be kidding me. You people shouldn't do this. Now, this guy didn't look me in the eyes once, so I don't know how he knew that I looked over 35 unless he just didn't give a shit and was like, whatever, dude, just get your shit and get out.
Yeah.
Which at the same time, okay, because I was already pulling my ID out. I know the game. I know the. I'll go to a beer distributor up here where I live. I walk in there. I don't have to ID there. I go in there so much they know who I am. But at like a Sheets, you're seeing people you're seeing hundreds of people a day, and you're never going to see them people again. So you're not going to remember a face. Up here,
Yeah.
they remember faces, so I don't have to worry about it.
It's like, on the back of our IDs, there's a barcode and a magnetic strip. And so when they ID you, they don't even look at it. They have you scan the barcode.
Yep, the barcode. We have the same thing. Yep.
And it puts it up on a little screen so it can actually, it beeps one if you're of age and one if you're not. And it's set for 21. It doesn't matter if it's for tobacco, liquor, or whatever. It's all 21 up here now. It's like, back in my day, it used to be 18.
I'm starting to think they should lower the age of alcohol to 18 because if you could join and die for this country, you should be able to drink a beer.
Yep. I totally agree.
Maybe we ought to start an online petition.
They tried that back in, oh God, when was that?
Well, it'll probably fail, like because they unanimously changed the age of cigarettes from 18 to 21. So you're no longer an adult anymore once you hit 18. You're not
Yep.
an adult till you hit 21 here in the United States. So you should not be allowed to join the military until you're 21.
Well, and be convicted as an adult unless you're 21 also. Because 18 is still the legal age for, criminal trials.
Yep. Yeah, you should have to be 21 for everything. Just because if you can't drink or smoke, you're not an adult. That's saying that somebody at the age of 18 isn't smart enough or doesn't have the mindset to make decisions for themselves. So if I'm 19 years old and I do something illegal and I should go to adult jail, I should go to minors jail. I should go to kiddie jail.
Yep.
Because clearly I'm not smart enough to make my own decisions. Whether they're right or wrong, I just shouldn't be allowed to do it. We're setting a porch record here.
Decoy. Oh, I know. We're at 3 hours and 23 minutes, actually.
You bastards ain't thumbsed up. There's a problem.
Yep.
Drug me out of here over Minecraft.
Yep, that is true. But yeah, I think we're gonna have to call it. It's been a long weekend for me, that's for sure.
Damn right, but just anybody listening, just keep in mind this front porch always has chairs on it. If you're ever available,
yes.
hop on in. And if you're not a member of this Discord,
it is in the description. It's in the description.
Yep. Then hit up that link in the description. Join. You could be on this front porch one day.
Yep. We don't care. There's only a couple of people that we've had some issues with in this on this channel, but they know who they are, and I'm not going to mention their names because I don't want to give them any fluff or flourishes. They don't deserve it. but we do support all of our other hosts. Hammy, of course, is part of the Unfiltered with BB. You can see tall ass Leprechaun Gaming in chat. He is aka Hunter, or the drunk number 2. And he's with BB with that one.
I vote he becomes drunk number 1 because he gets drunk and you can't tell.
faster. Yeah, that's true. I think we got to bring that up to a vote. I do agree there. And we have Tyler in here. He looks like he might have stepped away for a minute or two. But he is back with us, and we're glad to have him aboard. Like I said, I wanted to get his opinion on, the FAA stuff that we had happening back up here again. I'm glad he stuck around for the rest of the show.
And also, starting in August, he'll be hosting his own podcast right here that's going to cover sports-related stuff
Yep.
in the Mile High area. And there'll also be segments of it that's going to cover across the nation. So you might want to tune in for that when it comes out.
Yep, that is true. And then we also had a little Boogie in the chat earlier. He with Tater do salute to service. I have a hard time with that, but the one that gets me the most is the next one. We had Nick in here also, and he's with Jess with Mysteries of the
Underworld.
Underworld. See, I almost said the unknown. I don't know why, but it's the underworld. So that is, and then I can't forget the other show I'm on, the Aftermath with Timmy. So Timmy. So that is our entire lineup. And like Hammy said, be sure to subscribe if you want to see any more of these. We pretty much got everything except for, let's see, Wednesday and Thursday are off days. Other than that,
So
we have
far,
something rolling.
Thursdays will be filled come August. Maybe before, maybe it'll get pushed, but Thursdays will be filled no later than August.
Yeah. So basically, we got something coming out almost every day of the week. You have to have just a little bit of time off. I don't know where Tyler is, but we are literally running almost 3 hours and 30 minutes. So we're going to go ahead and call it. We'll probably let him know if he shows back up somewhere. But I would like to thank Tyler for joining us again, and Hammy Games.
Absolutely. Thanks, Boogie. Thanks, Nick, for joining too.
Yes, thank you for joining, Nick. We know that you're probably being tormented by your closet ghost, and tell the ghost to have a good night for us.
Nick's the only guy I know that goes in and out of the closet more times a day than I'd ever heard in my life.
Coming out of the shadows too, right?
There you go.
So I'm gonna go ahead and flip off the front porch light, get the water hose out, and get these people off my lawn.
Yeah, but I gotta go. I don't like getting sprayed by. I'm like a cat.
So I am Decoy NDA, aka the Grumpy Old Boomer, and we will see you all on the next front porch.
On the front porch, just killing time, talking about life with a sip of moonshine. Decoy's the host, he sets the scene with a crew of voices. The porch ain't serene. Pull up a chair, let the story spin. From BB to Boogie, let the jokes begin. Timmy's laughing, Tater grins wide, and poor old Paulie, he's the butt of the ride. Nick's got tales that'll make you wanna stay. Ace plays it cool in that laid-back way. The breeze rolls in with a Tennessee tune as the stars peek out by the light of the moon. It's a circle of voices, a homegrown vibe. No need to hustle, just take it in stride. Polly gets roasted, but it's all in jest. This porch crew's better than all the rest. Pull up a chair, let the story spin. From BB to Boogie, let the jokes begin. Timmy's laughing, Tater grins wide, and poor old Polly, he's the butt of the ride. Crickets join in with a soft tambourine. The sound of the sticks is pure and serene. Decoy keeps the peace when the teasing gets thick. But look out now, here comes more from Nick. Pull up a chair, let the story spin. From BB to Boogie, let the jokes begin. Timmy's laughing, Tater grins wide, and poor old Polly, he's the